I want to start this morning just slightly differently. I want to start with a little bit of a game show. Little morning show early. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to play Name That Reckless Beverage Van. By the title of the little game show, have you figured out what this is all about by any chance?
I imagine you had a pretty eventful ride into work this morning.
Well, listen, I wasn't in any real danger per se. Well, maybe I should take that back. Let me kind of give you. By the way, welcome everybody. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show. MJ and the crew. Fester, Froggy. Is Roxanne not here today?
I don't see her.
Did she? Well, I
think she took off, right?
Did she tell us where she was going, or did she, I'm trying to remember? Did she tell us she wasn't going to be here Monday?
She told you, like right in front of me, the last week.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she might have mentioned it over the weekend. I don't recall like specifics. Whether is she out the whole show?
I have no
You
idea.
saw her Saturday. Did you ask her?
Yeah. Well, I think she might have said something, but the play when I went to the Cake Girl on Saturday, place was jammed. I didn't have a minute to breathe. It was like just nonstop. Tons of listeners came by. I'll get to that a little bit later on. But here's what happened. I'm driving in this morning, and a beverage branded van just flew by me. I would say speed estimate would be 90. This is on the Howard Franklin Bridge.
Wow, that's pretty fast.
But to compound the problem, no lights.
Oh.
So about 90 miles an hour, maybe even a little bit more, and no lights, no headlights, no taillights. And it was very obvious. It was a beverage branded van, so a type of beverage. I'd like you to guess, guys, and if you don't guess immediately, then maybe I should go to the phones and we'll do an early morning quiz here at 6:02 on the MJ Morning Show on a Monday morning as we launch a whole new craptacular broad crap week. Here we go. All right, Fester, what beverage brand had a van fly by me on the Howard Franklin about 90 plus miles an hour with no lights on this morning? What brand, what beverage do you think it could be?
Oh, man, you're not going to give us any hints on this.
No,
Okay, no hints.
no.
Is it a fizzy drink?
Yeah, I mean, is it an alcoholic drink? Is it a fizzy drink? Is it a juice?
Yeah,
I have questions. But with no hints or clues, I would guess Red Bull.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, Red Bull.
How did you get that right off the bat?
Because I've seen
that's no fun.
I wasn't trying to ruin your game.
I was going to go to phones and involve the listeners, and you
Good job,
ruined
dude.
it.
I'm sorry.
Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
It's Red Bull.
I had no idea that was the right answer.
What are you?
What an idiot.
What are you? How did you know that? I didn't tell anyone this.
I was going to guess Yabba Marta tea.
You should have gone to him first.
Sorry.
My God, how did you guess Red Bull? I just said a beverage branded van flew by me at 90 plus miles an hour with no lights on. And out of the hundreds of possible beverages, you guessed Red Bull right off the bat? It was a Red Bull van.
All right. First of all, I'm sorry for guessing the right
Have
answer
you
so
seen
quickly.
the Red Bull van on the road on the way in? Is that...
I have not, but
How the hell did you guess Red Bull?
I've seen. You said van. You didn't say truck or you didn't say
Right.
vehicle. If you just said beverage vehicle,
Right.
I might have guessed like a Coke
Right,
or a
which-
Pepsi because those are usually pretty big, like with a little semi truck rig in the front, pulled back, or like a beer truck that gets delivered with the rolly doors. But I've seen vans with Red Bull on them.
Yeah, it was a Red Bull van, and it's kind of a smaller van. I don't even know. Was that like a little Nissan van or something? I'm trying. It's like a small. It's not like a Ford or a Chevy, a big van like a.
You're thinking a smaller van than I'm even thinking. That's probably like a promotional van, or how much Red Bull can it really carry to a store?
I don't think that it's loaded with Red Bull. I think you're right. I think it's more of a promotional van, but I'm still I'm flabbergasted over here that you guess Red Bull, right? Look at
See,
Froggy.
what are you doing, man?
so
You have no
sorry.
idea how to run this game.
I'm so sorry.
I was about to go to phones here.
I thought it was a real outlier answer.
I was about to engage our early morning listeners and take phone calls.
The last
And
thing I
then
wanted
I
to
didn't
do.
think anyone would guess it. So I thought that after taking 5-10 phone calls and you guys not being able to guess, that I would have to say, all right, here it is, Red Bull. And then Fester right off the bat guesses Red Bull. The most unlikely. I mean,
sorry.
What the?
You really suck, man.
I really thought this was an outlier
You
guess.
suck.
I thought it was gonna be like a Coke van or Miller Lite
Right.
or something, but
You're an idiot.
I tell you,
Oh, man.
let me move on. Let me try to collect myself and move on.
Act
So-
like it didn't even happen.
I'm so sorry, guys.
But I want to know where the hell the Red Bull guy was going at 5:20 this morning that had to be driving 90. Maybe he was on Red Bull.
yeah, he was high in his own supply.
You know,
Red Bull gives you wings.
hell, Red Bull makes you drive 95 miles on the Howard Franklin without any headlights on.
Oh, man.
Red Bull.
Apologies to everybody. I'm sorry.
This guy's delivery.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Who's that guy?
Red Bull gives you away.
I thought it was the Red Bull gives you wings.
Well,
guy.
that's another one.
I don't like this one.
That's the TV guy.
Andrew, can you find the other one? Find the Red Bull. There's various.
This guy sounds like a creepola.
It sounds like he might be.
Red Bull gives you wings.
That guy sounds like you might want to keep your kids away from him
You wanna
Red
get-
Bull gives you.
at the park. That's what I'm saying. No, but seriously,
Red Bull gives you wings.
Oh,
Get inside my Red Bull van.
hold on, you never heard that?
yeah, I've never heard that one. It's a little.
Can you help me get the sofa inside my Red Bull van?
Help me get something of Red Bull.
But I mean, where's this guy going? Or hey, listen, equal opportunity might have been a female. I don't know. I did not see the driver. I just saw them fly by at a ridiculous rate of speed, and no lights, no taillights, no headlights. Red Bull is in a car crash. Red Bull is reckless.
Red Bull got pulled over.
Red Bull is pulled over by the FHP.
Red Bull has a record.
Red Bull has a suspended license.
Is that a bag of crack in your car, Red Bull?
No, it's just Red Bull.
Do we have consent?
Powder
To,
form.
do we have consent to search the vehicle? No. All right, we'll call for a dog.
Yeah.
see if
Bring in the canine.
bring in the canine. See if the canine alerts on the vehicle. All right, just getting rolling here. It's going to be a busy Monday show. Don't miss a minute. I guarantee you'll be entertained by today's program. Yes, Fester.
Again, I'm so sorry.
So,
I'm so
6:08 at the MJ Morning Show. Let's see if there are any car crashes involving a speeding Red Bull vehicle with no lights on. All right, Pat's got the latest. Back in a minute. right, 6:19 at the MJ Morning Show. Mr. Big to be with you, and well, turns out they were here last week. Yeah, Andrew says they played at the Capitol Theater. You know, I've never been to the Capitol Theater.
Last week they were here?
Yeah, all my years in town, I've never, ever been to the Capitol Theater.
I always thought that Mr. Big probably had a micro peen.
I mean,
So how many women were like, "Oh, I'm going to hook up with Mr. Big," and then they're like, "Oh,
you know,
it should be
Froggy,
Mr. Little." You ever think about that,
Mr. Micro.
Mr. Micro?
Froggy, is that
Yes.
You only have like three things that you talk about on this show.
That's not true. 4 at least.
I think it might be 2, actually. All right, so yeah, Mr. Big, who just did that, they were a one-hit wonder. Oh, you know, what is Toad the Wet Sprocket coming to town?
Ooh, I love that.
Show.
What was that song they did? What was Toad the Wet Sprocket song? Remember that from early 90s?
Wouldn't a wet sprocket kill you?
Yeah.
Electrify?
Well, it'd be rusted.
Tin roof?
No, a wet sprocket. I'm thinking about a wet sprocket on a bicycle. You know, the sprocket with your bike chain and everything. Yeah, so Mr. Big was at the Capitol Theater last week.
Yeah,
and
six days ago. Here's a picture of it on their Facebook page.
And the opening act was Robin Zander's son. You know, Robin Zander, lead singer of Cheap Trick, who lives in Palm Harbor area.
And a little nepotism there, maybe?
And no, I wouldn't say, listen, he's got the goods, man. I was at the Cheap Trick little private show. We were invited. I'm not members. Michelle and I are not members of any country club. We're not members of any clubs. The yacht club, the various clubs around town. No, we're not members at any club in town. We never have been. I never will be. But we were invited to Palmacia. We were given a couple of tickets because they do a little, like a spring concert every year, and they usually have some good names. They fork out some coin. And Cheap Trick was the headliner for this private show, and it was phenomenal. They sounded great, and Robin Zander's son was in the. I guess he plays with Cheap Trick, and he was strong. He was good. So he's got the goods. He's Robin Zander's kid. What's his name? Andrew, what's
Robin Taylor Zander.
Robin Taylor Zander. Robin Zander's son. He's got the goods. He's a talented guy. Anyway, where were we?
Talking about Mr. Big and their final tour, Clearwater six days ago.
Yeah. And
now is the European leg of the tour.
Their final tour?
This is the big farewell tour of Mr. Big.
Oh,
this was
boy.
the first one I've heard of in years.
Yeah, I did not know what happened to Mr. Big. Yes, Andrew.
Toad the Wet Sprocket will be in Clearwater on October 23rd.
Get out of here.
At the Capitol
You can
Theater.
hear their hit, All I Want.
And they only had one song. Toad the Wet Sprocket also one song as far as, what was the name of that song?
All I Want?
Do you have that handy to play a little Toad the Wet Sprocket?
Horrible band name.
Toad the Wet Sprocket. Yeah, see if you can dig some of that up quickly.
Oh, it must be pretty awesome being a one-hit wonder band, still touring, packing small
sounds
theaters.
great.
Doesn't sound.
Hey, while you find Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Toad.
Yeah. No, Andrew's looking it up.
I'm looking at
We don't have it in the computer. Hey, I've got another goofy Tesla story. Hey, Elon.
Yes.
So I guess when you bought the Cybertruck, which Julie and I saw one yesterday, we were hang on, early 90s, but I don't think they had another hit. Like Mr. Big and Toad the Wet Sprocket, you could kind of just play those at the same time, and it would, 2 for 1, you know?
Back to back.
Yeah, exactly.
90s rock block.
All right, so here we have another ridiculous Cybertruck story. I was saying that Julian and I, we were running some errands yesterday. We grabbed some dim sum, a little brunch. We headed off to China Yuan about 11 a.m. yesterday, had some dim sum, then picked up some hurricane supply water for the garage. And, ran a couple of errands around town, had to pick up some crap at Walmart. And then coming back, we're at the traffic light at West Shore and Kennedy. We're on West Shore headed south, and coming from West Kennedy, from the west side, there was a Cybertruck making a right turn. And Julian's like, oh, my God, Dad, that is so ugly.
Oh, what? You can't have his. I bet you he likes him.
No,
you just force him to say that.
No, I didn't force my kid to say it. It's not ugly. It's an ugly.
It stands out.
It is an ugly. You know what? It's fugly. It is.
The only one I like really is Kanye West's $1 Million one.
And then
that one's dope.
Apparently, some people are buffing and shining them so they shine like a mirror. And then when the sun hits them, it's blinding drivers,
causing crashes. It's like the episode of
it's Chips. It's like the episode of Chips with the mirrors of the glass on the truck from 1979
That's brutal. That should
1980.
Be should be able to do that.
So some people, seriously, they're mirror buffing the stainless steel sides, and it's turning into like it's brighter than a mirror. It's like OR lights or something when the sun hits it, and it's just blinding people. And I read a story over the weekend, but it's not illegal.
It's not illegal. Make your truck a big mirror.
But here's the reason why I'm bringing this up. Another Cybertruck story. Listen, it's been plagued with issues. You know, the truck gets stuck in a Ford F-150. He's got to pull it out of the mud or sand or whatever. You know, those. Then what? People like are getting injured. Like the trunk will close on your fingers, and the auto sensor.
It doesn't seem like a very
practical
truck.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. Why not get a F-150? Really?
Why don't you get something a little more practical?
Something you could actually put stuff in the back of?
Well, people are buying the Cybertrucks, I think, essentially. It's just like, look at me, look at me, look at me. You know, when I'm not a Tesla fan. I will never own a Tesla. I look at Tesla drivers as, really? Yeah. I'm just not a Tesla fan.
You look at us Tesla drivers the same way we look at you BMW drivers.
And Fester's wife has a Model Y, as in why?
Because it is awesome.
Well, I guess they like the vehicle, but
you either get it or you don't.
So, well, I don't get it.
So why didn't you when you came over?
You're still pooping in an outhouse.
I'm not, and I'm perfectly happy not getting it. Let me point that out.
You still have that outhouse up there?
I do know.
You have antiquated technology in your driveway.
I have awesome technology in my driveway. All right, now Tesla is ruffling feathers again. When you bought the Cybertruck,
yes,
apparently you had to sign some kind of a disclosure or an agreement. Agreement's a better word. When you bought the Cybertruck, or if you're buying the Cybertruck, you have to agree that you won't sell it for a certain period of time. So I think they were trying to negate or thwart the flippers, buying the Cybertruck and then trying to flip it for a profit. Turns out this dude bought the Cybertruck, but it won't fit in his parking space where he lives.
Where does he live where the parking spaces don't fit? Does he have like the compact only spot?
Let me give you the deal. Owning and driving a Cybertruck that's over 18 feet long, nearly 8 feet wide, and built like a Frigidaire isn't for the faint of heart, as one Salt Lake City man found out when he tried to negotiate a way to get rid of his Cybertruck. Blaine Radden reserved a Cybertruck after watching the vehicle's launch online, but since he ordered the truck, his living situation changed. He and his wife separated, and he moved from a home with a garage into an apartment complex with tight parking spots. Once he picked up the new truck, he realized it wouldn't fit comfortably into his parking spot. He reached out to the dealer that delivered his truck to say, hey, can I return the truck? The manager told Radden that his situation wouldn't likely warrant an unforeseen circumstance that would trigger Tesla's repurchase of the truck, and reminded him that he signed a Tesla vehicle order. The agreement states that if a Cybertruck owner sells the EV during the first year, they can be fined $50,000.
Yeah, good luck with that.
$50,000 and be banned from buying any future Teslas. Let me tell you right now, I saw another story that there are lots that are filled with Teslas. There is such overproduction of a lot of Teslas. I saw some story that there are so many Teslas in some lot somewhere that you can see them from space.
Okay, there are tests in Tampa on 41
right.
in Lutz, Land O'Lakes.
Yep.
There's an open field. It's been a field for years.
Right.
And there's about 300 Teslas there. So
Really?
I went to the Tesla dealership a couple of weeks ago,
Right.
to buy merch. And
What?
Thank you for supporting the company.
Why? You didn't go to buy Tesla merch.
Of course he did. We have the best merch around.
Tesla has the new 4X Polo, so I bought it.
Oh,
And
really? Why'd you go to the Tesla dealer? Was it broken again?
no,
Okay.
the car's great.
Why'd you go to the Tesla dealer?
What does it
then?
matter?
To drive the Cybertruck.
No, you didn't.
I did. I picked Hudson up from school. I said, "Where do you want to go?" He goes, "Let's drive a Cybertruck." Let's
What?
go.
That's what he
Hold on.
said?
Yeah.
They had a demo to drive?
Well, they didn't. So, but we go down to the dealership. So I say, "Hey, you guys have a Cybertruck to drive?" And he's like, "No, they're all on order."
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And then
But there were two there that were getting delivered.
right, but they're not going to let you drive
Right.
someone's delivery
So
vehicle.
we were there for like 20 minutes,
Right.
and I said, "Hey, what's up with that lot that has like 400 Teslas? They're all like model."
It's growing by the minute. It was just
threes.
300 a few
couple-
minutes ago.
It's a lot of cars,
Right.
And now it's dwindled a little bit.
Okay.
But he said they were supposed to go to Miami, but the Miami store didn't have room for them on their lot. They need them, but they don't have room for them on their lot.
I've heard that there's just an overproduction and
Maybe.
there's way too many Teslas than people want to buy them
There
right
are
now.
huge incentives on them.
Well,
I'll
hello.
tell you.
Okay.
On the wise.
Yeah, guess what? You don't have massive incentives on a vehicle unless you got a crap load of those
When
things.
we bought our Tesla, a guy offered us like 12 grand more than we paid for it the day of delivery. And I was like, "Allison, sell it.
Really? Absolutely.
Sell the damn thing right now."
Get you guys into another Ford Explorer from Veterans Ford as well. Get you into. Yes, Andrew.
Was this the same Tesla dealership where they let you drive it all day long?
Yeah, the one in Tampa. I think the only one in Tampa is on Florida Avenue, kind of North Tampa.
They let you drive it all quarter long. You bring it back, sometime in August. All right, 6:31, rolling up on 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. Got a great pile of early morons in the news. We'll get to those next. It is hurricane season, folks. It started about a week ago, a little over a week, 10 days ago. Today's the 10th already, really? Yeah, hurricane season started on the 1st. During the month of June, you can see. The Morons have entered the building. And here we go, 6:40 Monday morning. Welcome, everyone. You are listening to the MJ Morning Show, and this certainly qualifies. What is one of the worst things that a fourth grader can bring to school for show and tell? Anybody?
Mom's sexual device.
That's a good guess, but that's not what I'm looking for. It's a very,
Thank you.
Gotta say
it's a very good guess.
That was along the lines of my answer as well.
Not what I'm looking for, but good answer, good answer, good answer.
Thank you.
What's another really bad thing that a fourth grader could bring to school?
Dad's sexual device.
Stop.
This end lights the room up. This end.
Stop mumbling over there.
The bag of drugs?
Yeah, it has to be.
It's another very good guess, but
All right, then it's a gun.
now I don't. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
I mean, there's really three terrible
That's
things
it,
kids
yeah.
can bring to school for show and tell.
Yeah, you're about right. Drugs, guns, and some kind of toy.
I mean, you're better off bringing grandma's corpse than bringing any of those three.
Oh.
Yeah.
10-year-old boy brought a loaded 40 caliber Glock Model 22 to Glassell Park Elementary School in Los Angeles last week.
That's horrifying.
Can you imagine that? What
No.
the hell, Mike? A fourth grader bringing a Glock. In fourth grade, you should know by that point that you shouldn't bring a gun to school or touch the gun. And now, first of all, a gun in the house with kids needs to be locked up. It has to be in a lockbox or a safe. And there are many options available, but this is a nightmare. 10-year-old kid caught with a loaded .40 caliber Glock. Showed it to another student on Tuesday. Third grade student also saw the gun, reported to school officials. I mean, it wasn't formally shown. I was kind of being a wise ass with the show and tell thing.
All right, Tommy,
But-
what do you have to show us today? I've got this.
Let me show you how it works.
What's the matter with people?
God, man, the parents are just grossly irresponsible, allowing a 4-year-old or fourth grader, a 10-year-old, to bring a gun to school. All right, speaking of school, here's another story. Got a crossing guard up in Pennsylvania in a wee bit of trouble. Why? Accused of giving the kids vapes and edibles.
That's a really nice crossing guard.
Okay, hang on. Let me stop the traffic while you can safely cross. But here are some vapes and edibles.
I was a patrol when I was a kid, and the crossing guard I got hooked, teamed up with was such a prick.
Yeah.
He was so mean. He was a mean old man.
Yeah.
He'd curse at cars.
Yeah. Police in Delaware County arrested 26-year-old Kiera Lee on Tuesday last week after she allegedly gave the children's e-cigarettes and marijuana edibles.
I mean, sometimes waiting for that light cycle takes a long time.
Lee, a crossing guard for the Penwoods Middle School in Darby, Pennsylvania, was seen on multiple occasions by a student witness giving drugs and vapes to at least 2 students.
Darby.
Yeah. First of all, I think she might be the youngest crossing guard in America. I don't know what it is, but you know,
How
Michelle.
old?
Where were Michelle and I? Michelle and I were out in Plant City.
I thought you had to be over 70 to be a crossing guard.
Yeah, we were driving through Plant City, and I'm trying to remember. We were coming back from Lakeland, and we you know what? It was when we went to visit. School was still in. We went out to visit Jim McFarland out at McFarland Shoe Repair. You know,
He's in Lakeland.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
We were in Lakeland. We were out in Lakeland. We were driving back from Lakeland, and we were headed to Fred's marketplace, the Fred's Buffet. And it took us through a little back road. We ended up like in a school zone, and kids were getting out of school. I'm trying to think when it was. It was like might have been 4 o'clock. I think it was a Friday, and we were going for an early. Yeah, because that's right. We made the. There was like a early bird thing, and the waitress comes by. Oh, you guys made the early bird, by the way. I'm like, all right, super. I think you got a free drink with the buffet or something.
Yum.
That's a deal.
We ended up getting kind of filtered through like a school zone, and the crossing guard was like 90 and was like moving like.
All right, let's go.
And Michelle said, "How could that crossing guard, really spring into action if you need to grab a kid or push a kid out of the way from a speeding car?" And I mean, the crossing guard was ancient. And listen, God bless him. All right, but still, you think of crossing guards being somewhat older, maybe not hunched over and with a walker, but a 26-year-old crossing guard, that might be the youngest crossing guard in America, who's handing out e-cigarettes, vapes, and marijuana edibles to the kids. That's
sweet.
That's ridiculous.
I just typed up crossing guard ages, and they have a whole breakdown of school crossing guard ages by decade, and only 8% of them fall between 20 and 30 years old.
Wow.
This is like a school. Are you serious?
Yes.
Hold on a minute.
This is according to the internet. I don't make this up. Over the age of 40 is 78% of crossing guards.
Hold on. Wait. There's like a crossing guard website with stats?
I typed in ages of crossing guards into Google, and this is the first thing that popped up.
40 plus, 78%. Yeah, but I want to know like 65 plus.
Yeah, let's break it down to like the really elderly.
Yeah,
decade.
that's what I really want to know. I don't know what it is, but like every moron in the news story today is somewhat school related. How about a school administrator leaving the particular school where they are and decided to pilfer all kinds of electronic goods on the way out? Probably not a good thing to do. Yeah, out of East Palestine, Ohio. Isn't that where the train derailed? Remember that horrific Norfolk and Southern derailment?
That weird cloud
Oh,
and the
yeah.
chemicals.
Yeah, remember that? I think that was over there. I think it was like East Palestine, Ohio, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Listen to this. The recently hired superintendent of the Latonia School District is facing theft charges after cops say he stole over $4,300 worth of electronics from East Palestine High School. Haven't they had enough tragedy? You have the train derailment.
They're not going to miss a couple of computers and MacBooks.
Please.
Yeah, according to the police there, Gerald Del Baccio, he botched this up, 43, facing a theft charge after officials say he attempted to steal electronic devices from the school district. Del Baccio is the current principal of East Palestine High School and was recently hired as the superintendent of Latonia schools. So, what, he was hired by an adjacent district to be their superintendent? And on the way out of the principal gig, he's ripping off the school of $4,300 worth of electronics? What the heck?
Hey, Mr. Del Baccio,
Yeah.
how's your computer?
Yeah, his resignation as high school principal was set to be effective in July. I'm guessing he might not get the new gig now either. The police report says officials with the East Palestine School District Administration reported that a number of electronic devices were missing from the principal's office on June 7th, a couple of days ago. Officials with the school district told police that they'd noticed issues with Del Baccio leading up to the investigation, causing them to reach out to officers. Upon investigation, police found the closet in the principal's office, which typically holds laptops, TVs, tablets, and other electronics, had been cleared out. He left the gig and decided to take all the electronics with him.
Hey, we're going to use these at my new school, okay?
Then they've got security footage showing him entering with a backpack and an empty bag, and he's just taking all the crap with him. Yeah, in the investigation, cops got in touch with Del Baccio and found the electronics in the back of his car. 29 items recovered, including video game controllers, laptops, tablets, TVs, some of which were still packaged and sealed. The value of the items, about $4,382. Del Baccio was charged with theft, fifth-degree felony, and he was taken to the county jail. I mean, that's got to put your new superintendent gig in jeopardy, right?
Hey, pardon me, but are you Mr. Del Baccio? Were you my principal? Yeah, we're both in jail now.
Hey, good to see us.
Yeah,
Please.
you put me in detention, and now you're in detention.
How do you like it, Mr. Del Baccio?
Mr. Del Baccio. Yeah, all right. So there we go. It's very school-centric. Morons in the news this morning at 6:50. I have a list, and I had this last week. We just didn't get around to it. Fester, do you have the extinct job list?
I do.
I thought it was interesting. Jobs that might not be around in the future. I mean, think about it. What jobs that are prevalent now are going to potentially just fade away, dry up, and go poof? Got the list. Is your job on the list of an occupation that is going to go bye-bye? All right, hang on. We'll get to that list next. And we'll also start the 7 o'clock hour, 7:25 or so. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. No commercials, no music. It's just nonstop content. We do it every day around 7:25. All right, heads up on that. If you need a new roof, I'm going to tell you right now. MJ Morning Show on Q105. MJ with Froggy and Fester. No Roxanne today. I don't know if she told us what she was doing, but anyway, she's not here. I think she's back tomorrow. Fester, yes, I put in a text to Dennis Phillips. Yes.
I think it's important, and you kind of poo-pooed me when I brought it up.
I'm not poo-pooing anything.
No, you poo-pooed.
I'm not. No poo-poo.
You're like, it's just a little rain.
No,
it's summer in Florida.
No poo-poo platter here, okay?
This is going to be a big weather week. Not like hurricane stuff or tornado stuff, but just rain stuff. Stuff that we're just not used to, even
So we
in
got to
rainy
talk to
season.
a weatherman about a rainstorm? Come on.
This is big.
All right, so hurricane season started on June 1. There's no activity out there as of now. However, we are supposed to have some serious moisture. And this is coming up from the south, right? We're supposed to have some serious moisture.
I think it's coming across the Gulf.
Is it across the Gulf?
But it's going to affect the entire state. But the most severe stuff is going to be Tampa Bay south.
So Fester's trying to get me to get Dennis Phillips on. And listen, I concur. I sent Dennis Phillips a text. And I said, hey, Dennis, if you wake up during the morning show, can we call you? How much rain are we expecting in the Tampa Bay area? Have you found anything?
Well, I get all of my weather from Dennis Phillips' Facebook page.
All right, so if you go to Dennis Phillips' Facebook page.
He posted a map where he said there might be everywhere in Tampa Bay is going to get about 5 inches of rain.
What? Really?
Yes.
I knew we were supposed to go. And I think I heard
then,
south, Miami, maybe Fort Myers, Naples, they could be getting like 10 inches of rain.
Okay, I was thinking.
Is that true?
When he said south of Tampa Bay, I thought he meant like Sarasota, Manatee, Venice.
Oh, really?
That's what I thought. But just south of the... And that's why I wanted to talk to him to have him clarify.
All right. Well, I put a text in. I said, hey, Dennis Phillips, are you available to talk to us during the MJ Morning Show this morning? So if he wakes up, he'll text me. He's always good about that. Of course, the official weather partner of Q105 Radio at 104.7 FM is ABC Action News. ABC Action News, Channel 28. Of course, Chief Meteorologist, Mr. Suspenders himself, Dennis Phillips, who is very generous with his time. I mean, remember, during some of the hurricane issues that we've had, I've had Dennis on for an hour and a half straight, I think, on the show. We didn't take a break. We just went on and we were just talking about stuff.
Do that today.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to do that today. However,
it's just rain, but it's a lot of rain.
Fester is fixated on the impending rainfall here in the Tampa Bay area, so we'll try to get Dennis on. But listen, later today, and then during the course of the week, right? Is it going to start today? Let me
I
look
think
at,
it starts like maybe tomorrow night.
Let me look at my weather app. Hang on a minute. All right, today, nothing.
Right, today's
All
night.
right, so today, it looks like tomorrow's 90% chance of rain. All right, so today, looking at my 10-day forecast on my my weather app, yeah, today looks like no rain today, but tomorrow, 90% chance. It's got the little thunder, lightning bolts and everything, too. So tomorrow, 90% chance. Wednesday, 70% chance. Thursday, 80% chance. Friday, 60. Saturday, 60. And then starts to diminish 40% on Sunday. So this week could be a little bit of a washout. But we've had drought conditions. We've been very dry. So we can use some good rain dousing.
But did you know
What?
dry dirt does not absorb water easily?
If it's too dry, then a lot of the water then doesn't get absorbed fast and can become, a flood risk. So excessive rainfall, folks, looks like, not today. So my bad, not today, but Tuesday through Thursday, I guess, is going to be the greatest impact. So Tuesday, tomorrow, the 11th through Thursday, the 13th, a lot of freaking rain. All right. The job extinction list. Let's go back to this. Now, this is from Stacker. And I saw this last week, and I kind of put it into the pile. And I thought it was important. Just didn't get around to it yet. But these are jobs that are probably going to go extinct. That, within a couple of decades to 50 years from now, these jobs will not exist. But some of them sooner than others. So the big question is your job on the list? And do you know that your job might be in danger of becoming extinct? So leading off the list is a taxi driver. and a lot of it being replaced by ride share, obviously. So a lot of taxi driver jobs have already gone bye-bye. So I think you're going to have a continued amount of taxi drivers going away. Again, the gig ride apps and the ride share services, but also I think those are in danger. You go, 20, 30 years down the line, maybe even sooner, it's going to be automated.
Isn't that right, Elon?
Yeah.
Yes, it's so true.
You're going to have these vehicles that are just going to be totally autonomous. They've already tried that. We already have the technology. I think, didn't they have the autonomous cars in San Francisco that were running over people and smashing into cars and everything? And didn't they abandon the autonomous driving vehicles? And
Wasn't Elon building tunnels?
I don't think it's for that. He was building tunnels to get around traffic.
Yeah, but if you have a tunnel, you don't need a taxi.
Did he build a tunnel in L.A. or something? Or
was it for an L.A. subway or something?
No.
I don't know. The boring hole?
No, it wasn't for a subway. It was
a car. It was like the cars would be down there.
Yeah, it's to bypass traffic in some places.
I built a big tunnel.
So, but yeah, eventually in 50 years, this will all be automated. You just tell the car where you want to go, and it'll take you there.
Next, mail sorter, letter carriers, and clerks. A lot of these jobs could be disappearing over the coming decades. More and more obviously has gone electronic. I'll tell you right now, whoever lost my 2 priority mail letters to the IRS, I want them out of a gig right now.
Yeah.
I want them. Oh, I got a response.
You did? From who?
Yeah. I got a response to my MJ email from, it must be an assistant to the postmaster who we tried to call at a convention last week. Remember that?
Mm.
What's her name? Who's the postmaster? And we have
Postmaster Jay?
Yeah,
Jackie
Villanueva or something.
Villamarie?
Villamarie or something to that effect. And someone gave us her cell phone, and we called up her cell phone, and she was walking into some kind of convention of some sort. But I got an email back. I'll get into that in the next segment. But whoever lost my 2 priority mail letters, 2 payments to the IRS on April 15th. I didn't quite like the tone of the letter I got. Almost. I'm serious. Hang on. I'll get into this later on, and I'll read the email verbatim from a local postal guy. Mail sorters, letter carriers, and clerks, a lot of those jobs can be going away. Now, I don't want to hear this, and there is no way in my lifetime am I getting on an airplane with no pilot. But they believe that we're headed toward a time where aircraft might be pilotless.
I mean, it's so computerized, and it's so...
Guess what? I want a human in some cases making the decision and not a pilot. For instance... Would a computer have tried to put down that U.S. Airways flight on the Hudson like Captain Sully did?
No, probably not.
So would somebody be flying it from somewhere else, like a drone?
No, it would be probably not like a drone pilot.
Automated?
Not like an Air Force dude in Las Vegas or outside of Vegas flying drones that are over in Afghanistan or Iraq. No.
I need my pilot's life to be at risk as well.
Is that the criteria for you?
Yes, because if nobody cares,
I don't need my pilot having a reboot.
Now we're going to have like robots. We're going to have autopilot features. A lot of that's going to be coming in the coming decades.
Brace for impact.
I'm going to tell you right now, I am not going to get on an aircraft that's autonomous without a human pilot. I'm not doing
What
it.
happens if that's all you could do?
Well, then I'm not flying. I'm not going.
Maybe we'll have warp zones.
And
by
I
then.
think a great example would be that an autopilot, an autonomous pilot, would not have attempted to put that aircraft, that U.S. Airways flight, down on the Hudson after striking those Canada geese and taking out both engines, and Captain Sully telling air traffic control that he can't make it to Teterboro, can't make it to Newark, can't go back around to LaGuardia. And he decided to expertly put that thing down with unbelievable precision on the Hudson River.
I think I could have done that.
Every single person walked off that airplane. If a computer would not have decided to do that, a computer would have tried to get back, and that plane would have crashed into the ground.
My flight simulator gives you a chance to do that exact thing, land it in the river, and I do it real easily. I probably could have done it.
You probably could have.
All right, other jobs that are going to be gone in the coming decades. Bills, Bill collectors, account collectors, done. Surveyors and mapping technicians.
Well, it's all going to be digital now, or
all
from the space?
robotic. Yeah, GPS, robotic. It's all going to be automated, so you don't need somebody out there with the sticks and
It's very specific.
all that. Oh, by the way, the chalk, that white powder in my neighborhood, all over the streets and like multiple streets, the piles of white powder.
Yeah.
Folks, I shot a video last week. If you didn't see it, video up on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. I have like the white powder mystery as piles of white powder, like all through that. I mean, like 50 feet apart, 100 feet apart, and then on like 3 different streets. I'm like, what the hell is this? And somebody responded to the video, which is on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. Just look for the video of the white powder, and I'm like touching it, to then like taste it like in the cop shows. And somebody said it might be surveyor marking chalk, but it's all over the place. It's not like it's on 3 different streets.
Could it be at was it at property lines?
How much freaking surveying they doing? Like 3 streets over. It's like, what the hell? Anyway, so parking enforcement could go bye-bye. Meter readers bye-bye. Bus drivers. So actual bus drivers, again, replaced with autonomous self-driving vehicles. Coal miners, yeah, we know that story. Switchboard operators. I mean, are there any switchboard operators left since 1980 anyway?
Is that code word for like receptionist? I mean,
I don't
I'll
know.
patch you through.
And this is important. This is one of the main reasons why I did this story. Fast food workers.
Ooh.
The amount of automation that's happening in the fast food industry is getting greater and greater by the day. You already have the self-ordering kiosks, and a lot of this comes down to the forced minimum wage. Like out in California with like $20 minimum wage, you've got places that are closing. And what's going to happen? It's going to force these restaurants, they're going to go fully automated. Guess what? They're not going to have $20 an hour workers because they're going to have no workers. It's going to be automated.
Yeah, but those kiosks are covered in duty, aren't they? Wasn't that like the story?
like the screen is disgusting.
Yeah, I don't wanna
nobody wipes the
I don't
kiosk
want to
screen.
touch that thing.
Wash your hands before you just start eating your fries out of your fingers.
Ugh.
All right. No, but seriously, the automation of the kiosk screens, and then you have the kitchen automation is getting better and better. You're going to have workers in the fast food kitchens are going to be replaced by robots. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this story. With a lot of these high force minimum wages, it's going to cause these jobs to be cut much sooner. So you're going to be getting rid of jobs by forcing a lot of these high minimum wage numbers. So there you go. And then, referees could go bye-bye. And there are reports that you could have actual AI refereeing going on.
Dude, I'd
Soccer
rather have,
already has a lot of that.
I'd rather have that than these big fat umpires who get calls wrong.
Yeah.
That's a track.
Anyway, the list goes on and on, but I mean there are just a lot of gigs that could go bye-bye. But watch the fast food industry. A lot of that stuff is going to go automated, so these companies don't have to pay $15 and $20 an hour for fast food workers, and that's happening right now. 7:16 at the MJ Morning Show. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Chloe's off to an internship this morning. Yep.
It starts today.
Yeah, Chloe's got an internship. I don't want to say exactly where it is, but I want to wish her, good luck. We have a lot in the hour and 20 minutes, including, I think it's kind of a clickbait story, to be quite honest, but there was a story circulating late last week that if you know a single man, don't go anywhere near this. If you know a single guy, do not go near this of his. All right, hold on. That and a whole lot more. I mean, a lot. I haven't even scratched the surface of what's coming up. An hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Had a great time. It is 7:25 at the MJ Morning Show. Folks, we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. And you know what? That's actually a lie. I'm a liar. I'm calling myself out right now. I tout an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ every day. I'm a liar. I'm just a bold-faced liar.
I've been telling you that for years.
Yeah.
Because it's more. It is
Oh.
more than an hour and 20 minutes. It's usually like an hour 25 or so. I mean, you get more than an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ every single day, and it starts right now. Hey, congratulations to Chloe. You know, she took her LSAT again last week. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And listen,
Law school.
Hey, she got a good score back in April. She's trying to even better the score. You know, she might take it again maybe in August, but she is starting a summer internship this morning. I don't want to say exactly where it is. I don't want to, just be too specific, but she's starting a really cool internship, and I think she should learn a lot. Hopefully, well, she better not embarrass my ass, man. I mean, listen, I'm pretty well known, the MJ Morning Show, and last thing I need is like my daughter screwing things up or, slacking or something.
You like to talk about your kids a lot, but I would like to congratulate one of my kids and one of their big accomplishments.
We don't have time for that. All right, moving on. No,
See how it is?
I'm
See how
joking.
that goes?
You see how it is?
Let's talk more about film school.
Of course you
All right.
can.
Well, Luke,
Yes.
congratulations. Completed his first backflip in the pool yesterday.
All right.
Yeah. We got real accomplishments going on in our house, buddy.
My kids haven't done anything really spectacular lately.
the big backflip.
Yeah, he's been
That's
practicing
awesome.
a lot.
You know what? Let me call Chloe. You want to call Luke?
Yeah,
No.
I'd rather hear about Luke's backflip.
Luke's probably sleeping still. So who is she interning with? Tony Little? What is it?
I said I'm not going to say where she's interning.
Is it like it's a law thing though, right?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, well then she's interning for another radio station. What the hell?
Chloe?
You got an internship Chloe, are you at another radio station interning?
All right, hello, Chloe?
Hello?
She hung up.
Why would she hang up?
The hell?
Oh.
Did her face hit the button?
I don't know. She hung up on it. What?
She turned on the bitch switch.
She hung up on us. I don't know what.
By the way, I saw a picture of her and Chet. He is a handsome fella.
Stop.
He is.
Hello, Chloe?
Yeah, I accidentally hung up. That's my fault. Sorry.
Why'd you hang up on me?
It was an accident. I'm sorry.
Hey, good luck with your internship. What time do you have to be there today?
At 8:30.
All right. I'm not saying where your internship is, at least not.
Thank you.
Not right away. But listen, Chloe, don't embarrass me. You know, my name is fairly well known in town. Please don't do a crappy.
Oh, come on.
Don't do a crappy job. All right, don't screw anything up. Don't burn the place down.
Yeah, Hunter Biden.
Hey.
All right, don't let them find a bunch of edibles in your purse or something.
Okay.
I'm joking. She
Leave the crack at home.
Exactly.
So, Chloe, back when I got my internship at the radio station years ago, on the first day of the internship, Joe Mama Johnson had us pulling weeds in the back of the radio station.
Oh, he had me washing vans.
Yeah. So expect some crap job today.
Wait, hold on a minute. When you got the internship over at J-Corps,
Yeah.
our old radio company,
Yes.
Go pull
Over
down
on
weeds, fat boy.
over on Gandy, they had you pulling weeds your first day on the job.
Oh, it was a different time.
There were 5 of us there the first day.
I got a job at a radio station. I got a job with the MJ and BJ morning show. I got a job at 93. Oh my God! And you're pulling weeds in the parking lot as your first intern day?
I just wanted to get with Jennifer Jordan, but listen,
She was already busy with someone else
she was
over
already
there.
tied up. I found that out pretty
She
quick.
was already busy with someone else.
Missed out.
But first day, there's 5 of us at the internship.
In the old school bus in the back.
All right.
That's the one you had to wash. Anyway,
I did watch that one.
so first day of the internship, all 5 of us newbies walk out, and we're all there. And Joe Mama Johnson, come follow me, duties. And we all walk out.
He called everyone Duty.
Come here, Duty.
What's up, Duty?
What's up, Duty?
What's up, Duty?
Yeah.
He's like, you see this?
By the way, Joe Mama Johnson was the best.
The best.
Love Joe Mama.
And he's like, you see this parking lot? The biggest names in music and entertainment come to this radio station, and they see this parking lot. This is where they park to come into our radio station.
So Joe
And look at all
Mama,
these weeds.
Joe Mama was like a corrections officer.
Oh,
he was.
sure was.
Oh, no, seriously. Before he got into radio promotions,
If he liked you, you were good.
I think he worked in the Polk County Jail. He
If
was
he
like
didn't
I
like
think
you.
he was like a corrections officer. Anyway, Chloe, let me get back to you.
Back to you,
no, I
Chloe.
want to talk about your mom.
We'll get back to Joe Mama.
Chloe, good luck with your first day of your internship today, and don't F it up, okay?
All right, no pressure.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks.
Bring gloves in case there's weeds.
Don't bring down your family's name.
You know what? I've got some Roundup in the garage if you want to grab that. All right, Chloe. I'll talk to you later. Good luck.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
How exciting. A whole new career starting for her.
Yeah.
She might blow it, though. Who knows?
All right. I don't want to get too far away from this. I don't want to forget this. I mentioned my U.S. Postal Service issue just a little while ago, and I did get a response finally. And I've gotten no official response from my, well, maybe this was because they did look up my my tracking numbers. So they must have looked at all the complaints locally and they put 2 and 2 together. So long story short, I mailed out 2 priority mail envelopes with the U.S. Postal Service's envelope, the labels printed out of the kiosk at the airport post office. And I put them in the wall receptacle at 5 o'clock in the morning before I came to this very morning show on Monday morning, April 15th. I owed the IRS tax due with my extension, so I had to write a check for the taxes I have due. I owed more than I put in. Also, my estimated quarterly payment was due, so 2 different checks, 2 different priority mail envelopes to 2 different P.O. boxes, P.O. Box 1300 and 1302 up in Charlotte, North Carolina. Neither package got there. The last thing it showed was accepted at Tampa, Maine Airport Post Office, and that's it. And these things fell into a freaking black hole. All right. So now, I've got all the proof that I mailed. I even have a picture of me. Remember, I took the picture of me holding up the letters in front of the box in the wall where I dropped it in. I mean, I've got so much freaking proof. So here's what happened. I've been moaning about this numerous times over the last couple of months. And I said on the air, does anyone have like the phone number for the postmaster?
We tried calling her office,
Yeah.
and we didn't get a reply back that way.
No. Somebody texted Fester, because everyone knows Fester's text line.
Everybody.
Fester's cell phone number is 813-310-8444. Everyone knows that. It's no secret. Fester's private cell number, 813-310-8444. Hey, folks, instead of sending him like just superfluous crap, if you want to buy an RV, his real job is over at General RV.
Yeah, we're doing that too,
If you want to buy an RV, I mean, we're talking like $10 to $10 million.
Maybe not $10.
All right, maybe what? 5,000? 5,000 up to 800,000. All right. So if you're looking for an RV, text Fester 813-310-8444.
Or text me numbers of the postmaster like somebody else did.
Somebody texted Fester the postmaster of Tampa's private cell number, of which we called it last week, and Fester's on the phone with her off the air, and she's walking into some convention. And I guess she spent a lot of time in the Tampa Bay area, so she knows all about the MJ Morning Show history, I'm sure. And I'm sure she's heard about my lost priority mail letters. So I got a response, and clearly this response is the fact that we cold called her on the air live, and her voice was not on the air, but Fester was speaking to her off the air. So I get this email response from Brian, and Brian must have been given my case, or the postmaster in Tampa. What's her name again?
Jackie Villamarie?
Yes.
Her first name's Jackie.
It's Villermaire, however you pronounce that. And I got a message on Friday afternoon from Brian at USPS.gov, and it says Brian. I'll leave his last name off, and it says St. Petersburg, Florida, on his email address on the line, and it says, "Dear Todd Schnitt, my real name. Thank you for contacting the U.S. Postal Service. This is in response to your inquiry with Postmaster Jacqueline Villamarie of 2 priority mail pieces with USPS tracking numbers 9505.
So he's including a lot more information than I gave the postmaster on our brief call.
We gave none of this. Now, when I filed my missing letters complaint over a month ago, those were included. So clearly they looked up my case, or maybe they have a rundown of all of the local complaints for missing mail. So they clearly put it together of who I am, what my name was, my official complaint, because I filed 2 different complaints.
Maybe they have a board of pain-in-the-ass customers.
Maybe
like
so.
the top 10 list of pain-in-the-ass customers, and you're right there.
But I'm not liking a little bit of the tone in this email.
Right.
I'll explain. So it says, Dear so-and-so, thank you for contacting the U.S. Post. Response to your inquiry with the Postmaster Jacqueline Villamarie. Yeah, we called her on her cell phone when she was walking into a convention last week. Then they list my 2 priority mail pieces with the exact numbers, the tracking numbers. He writes, I was disappointed to learn your priority mail packages did not arrive at your destination. Your items were scanned, accepted at the self-service kiosk, the SSK, located at the Tampa, Maine Post Office on April 15, 2024. Yes, I know that. It is important for me to explain that without another processing scan within the USPS network, we cannot verify that these items were correctly deposited into one of our mail receptacles after the acceptance scan on What am I, a moron? I didn't properly? I put them in the wall.
Maybe they fell out.
No,
maybe the wind blew them out.
I'm inside, dude. I'm in the lobby.
Air conditioner?
Where's the footage? Is there security footage from 3 months ago?
I asked for that. I said, I said on the air, I want the surveillance footage. When I spoke to an assistant And I've got another assistant's name that I spoke to like 3 weeks later when the IRS, I got a hold of an administrative assistant in Tampa at the post office. And I said to her, I would like the security footage pulled, and you can see that I placed these in the wall. So I don't think they did that.
I think he's low-key calling you an idiot.
He is. That's what's... Brian is calling me a freaking idiot. Like, there's no way to guarantee that you properly put the... I lifted the handle, I put them in the bin, and I always go ka-chunk, 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 like 3 times.
You like the sound.
To make sure that it drops into the bin. So
Maybe that's what you messed up. Maybe it got stuck in the third ka-chunk.
Maybe it only needed a double ka-chunk.
The guy's calling me a mail-tard.
If you did it 3 times,
He is.
You messed it up.
I didn't mess up anything. It's a wall receptacle that dumps it into a bin.
You're not supposed to do it 3 times.
Will you stop it? I just wanted to make sure that they were not left inside. They got deposited in. Yeah, there's no mail scan, Brian, past the acceptance because it got lost from behind that wall at Tampa, Maine. My 2 packages got lost. So I don't like the insinuation here. So what I did was, let me finish the email.
It looks
here.
like you did a 3 ka-chunk on this one.
Sir, you're a triple ka-chunker.
We've been through this before.
We've dealt with idiots like you in the past.
But
Trying to
I
get one over.
don't like the insinuation here that
So far,
we cannot verify that these items were correctly deposited into one of our. What am I, an idiot?
Okay.
I can't. You know how many things I've mailed in that wall over the last 30 years at the post office? I know how to use the kiosk. So I sent him back pictures of me because I took a picture right in front of the receptacles where I dropped them in. And remember, I was sticking my tongue out at the IRS.
I'm honestly surprised.
I stuck my tongue out.
Oh my gosh.
The picture is on my Instagram. It is marked, from April 15th.
Imagine what this guy thinks when he saw the picture.
Yeah, right. I'm surprised, MJ, you didn't actually videotape you dropping it and doing the triple ka-chunk.
I should have
Really?
I should have videotaped it.
Well, you didn't think this was going to happen.
Because then, of course not. Because if I would have videoed me putting it to the wall, what do they think? I used a coat hanger with some gum on the end to retrieve them out of there later? But I'm really kind of taken aback here that we can't really verify that I properly put my letters in the wall bin. Yeah, I'm such an imbecile that I don't know how to put the stuff in the wall and have them drop behind into the bin behind the wall. I did it so I wrote back anyway. It talks about, let's see, if at any point the label would have become illegible, the contents would have come out, da-da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, I get this whole thing. Anyway, first of all, I want my $20 back. I think it was like $9.85 a piece. I want that money back for complete delivery failure. But I don't like the fact that there seems to be there's a tone here. There's an insinuation that maybe I'm a jackass and I don't know how to put letters in the wall
All right.
at the post office receptacle.
The tone that you're feeling or hearing is in your own head. He is literally just stating a fact. He's saying we have no way of verifying. He's just telling you. He's calmly explaining to you, I have no way of verifying it was properly put into the receptacle or triple ka-chunked. He's not saying, hey, moron. Da-da-da.
Please accept our apologies for failing to provide our usual service.
Yeah.
This unfortunate experience has increased our awareness of this problem and will intensify our efforts to identify. And so I wrote a note back on literally minutes after I got this. I have not gotten a response back from Brian S. In St. Pete answering for the postmaster. What's her name again? Jackie Villamarie.
Yeah.
All right. So I wrote back, Brian, this is Friday afternoon, literally minutes after I got his letter, calling me a male moron. I wrote back, Brian, thanks for the email. These packages were absolutely and indisputably placed in the wall receptacles in the USPS priority mail packaging and affixed kiosk-generated labels. Attached are photos from 5 a.m. Monday, April 15, 2024. Timestamps are on my photos. This is a severe facility breakdown. I request further investigation and contact. I look forward to your follow-up response. Thank you, Todd MJ Schmidt. MJ Morning Show, Q105 Tampa Bay, and then my cell number on the email. I saw, and I attached 3 pictures I attached three shots. I attached the labels, the actual labels affixed to the packages.
Unsmudged.
Perfect.
Uncompromised.
And then there's a picture of me standing in front of the receptacles in which I dropped those 2 packages seconds after I took the picture. Pull the video and you'll see there's a problem. They need to find out why stuff went into their box. It fell behind their wall into those little wheeling bins. And what happened to my packages at 5 a.m. on April 15th? That's what they need to do. All right, so there we go.
All right. So
That postmaster doesn't want to come on the air with us, does she?
I mean, have you reached out
Turning it
to-
over to some Brian lackey.
Well, she had her assistant take care of it, which is appropriate.
I'm kidding, Brian.
Listen,
It's a
have you
morning.
reached
It's a
out-
morning show. We got to have some comedy here.
MJ,
Yeah.
last week I told you to personally, directly text message the postmaster.
Right.
I'm sure they're all very reasonable people who want to see the mail delivered properly and want to get to a resolution as much as
Listen,
you
I
do.
think that there might be a systemic issue here. There's a larger issue that 2 priority mail packages were deposited indisputably, and they just gone.
One time,
Yeah.
we had somebody from maybe the Ybor branch of the post office tell us that there are thousands and thousands of those white mail buckets just stacked up.
Yeah.
And if they put one bucket on top of another bucket,
It can get lost
And
for
there's a-
months and months. Yeah.
right, and there's a piece of mail
Yeah.
in that bottom bucket.
The IRS is going to get my letters in January.
Yeah, they won't know it until they recycle it, and then it'll just be entered into the regular mail.
How the hell is Caitlin Clark not in the Olympics playing women's basketball? How the F is she
Oh, God.
left home? Yes. What, you got a problem with this, Froggy?
No, I thought it was really good. It was really on
key,
on key.
on beat, everything.
So what the heck? How do you leave the biggest females basketball sensation who
What happened?
has the good? They left her off the women's Olympic basketball team.
How did they do that? Why?
I don't know. Why? This is the dumbest freaking thing I've ever heard. This is dumber than the post office losing my letters.
So
I love the WNBA.
WNBA. Woo!
WNBC, WNBA.
Caitlin Clark, you know what? I'm really attracted to her.
I'm not attracted to her.
You know, some are suggesting that she's having a hard time because she's not a lesbian.
She's not?
Yeah,
No, that's amongst other things that they're suggesting.
Yeah, but some are saying that some in the league are kind of giving her a hard time. That I guess a lot of the, I know there are, I don't know what the percentage is,
She's being bullied for being straight?
but that's even being floated as well.
I saw Bill Maher
Yeah.
tear up the WNBA for their cattiness. And
Did he
how-
bring up the lesbian thing?
No, but he brought up how on a male team, if you push a teammate on a male team, the whole team fights you. If you push our quarterback, you push Baker Mayfield, all the linemen are going to be in your face fighting the other team. Caitlin Clark gets a very aggressive hit, and nobody on her team came to her defense in
Yeah.
that capacity.
You know what?
And he said there's an underlying
They're all jealous.
cattiness, jealousy of this.
Also,
She's making $15 million more than all the other players.
Well, no, she's making very little to play. She's making
endorsements?
Her endorsements are a fortune. Yeah.
You think other players are making that?
Well, anyway, she was excluded from the U.S. women's basketball team for Paris coming up this summer. I mean, how stupid is that?
How does Nike let that happen? We're going to sign her to a bazillion-dollar shoe deal?
I don't think Nike has a say in who gets picked for the women's Olympic basketball
I
team.
bet you they have a bigger say than you think.
Maybe.
What are her comments about this?
All right. Well, I'm glad you asked, Froggy.
I want to hear her voice. I've never heard it.
She's like,
Well-
I'll be home just counting my cash. So
She says, I've got the verbatim here. I'm excited for the girls that are on the team, she said yesterday. These are the first comments that she's made since the roster came out, and she wasn't on it. She says, I know it's the most competitive team in the world, and I know it could have gone either way, me being on the team or me not being on the team. Hey, Andrew, if there's audio on this, see if we can dig it up. I'm excited for them, got to be rooting for them to win the gold. I was a kid that grew up watching the Olympics. It'll be fun to watch them.
Caitlin.
But she was snubbed.
here's the thing. The team is full of a lot of experienced veterans. I mean, she did just come out of college. She is a rookie. All the other players play in the WNBA.
Now, the Fever, she plays for the Indianapolis Fever, the WNBA women's basketball team. and the head coach there is Christy Sides. And she said that Clark told her they've woke a monster with their decision.
Uh-oh.
So is that a little bit of a discrepancy in what she's saying?
What's she going to do? Shoot up the place? What the hell?
She can be happy for the girls who are on the team.
She's going to Paris with a bomb vest strapped on.
Gosh.
Don't do that, Caitlin.
No, don't do
There'll
that.
be a lot of security there.
Don't do that.
So she can be happy for the girls who made the team, the women who made the team, and at the same time, privately be pissed off she didn't make the team.
Honestly, no disappointment. I don't believe that. I think she's highly disappointed. I think it just gives you something to work for. It's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there. Yeah. I think it'll be 4 years from now. I think it's just a little bit more motivation. You remember that, and hopefully when 4 years comes back around, I can be there. Yeah, she was told that she didn't make the team before it became official in the news. They called me, she said, and let me know before everything came out, which I was really respectful of them, and I appreciated that. They did the same for every girl that made the team or every girl that didn't make the team. So I just think it's a mistake. I think she's a sensation. She
Just to
obviously
get eyeballs on the game, right?
She's got the goods, though. It's not just window dressing. She's got the player goods. They should have put Caitlin Clark on the women's Olympic basketball team.
I mean, more people are watching WNBA now than ever. Don't you
want to
think?
hear my song again?
Oh, God, no.
Kill me.
They really effed up big time, leaving Caitlin off the Olympic team. Froggy, you like to do some lines?
That was really good. That was really
You like
good.
that?
I don't think that could be topped.
The kind of lines I want to do after hearing that song have nothing to do with singing. I'll tell you.
You want to hear her voice? Who said they never heard her voice?
I bet she's like,
It's not a big deal, really.
No,
it's going to be fine.
I want to hear what she sounds like.
No.
You've never heard?
No.
All right, here's a little bit of what Caitlin Clark sounds like. Go hit it.
When you saw the USA team yesterday, the roster come out.
Yeah, I think I'm excited for the girls that are on the team. I know it's the most competitive team.
Stop bouncing the balls!
Way of me being on the team, me not being on the team. So, I'm excited for them.
All right, there you go. There's a little Caitlin for you.
Man, that's monotone.
MJ,
now, yes.
besides the Indiana Fever that you just mentioned,
I can't name one other team.
can you name any other team? 2 or 3 teams.
Yeah,
you lived in New York.
you
lived in New York for 7 years.
I cannot.
Okay.
I cannot.
Froggy, can you name any other?
The Mississippi jaundice.
Okay, all diseases
Professor,
aren't. All teams aren't named after diseases.
I'll move it along.
It's not like it's the fever and the Mississippi malarias.
It is
and the Jacksonville jaundice.
All right,
and the Tampa tuberculosis.
7:49.
Yeah, that would be funny.
That's what our hat stands for in baseball, by the way.
The Charlotte Chlamydias.
Yeah, right.
Go
Yeah.
Clems.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 7:49. Running a few minutes late. Clickbait or real? I think there's some clickbait to this story that has been circulating. If you know a single guy, it is said don't go anywhere near this item that the single guy has.
How old is the single guy?
Disgusting reasons that you never know go near this particular item. Don't touch it. Certainly don't eat off of it.
Okay.
Certainly don't lick it.
Oh, what are
All
we
right?
talking about?
Yeah. So if you know a single guy, this is the one object you should never go near, according to Dr. Karl Kruszelnicki. Kruszelnicki. How else would you pronounce that?
Sounds right.
Yeah. There's data. He says there's scientific data. Do you know what the item is?
Well, since you said eat off of it, I changed my answer. Because originally it was hand cloths.
Not a bad answer, but that is incorrect. So he's talking about multiple data points. This Dr. Karl Kruszelnicki, and he says the first data point shows that if you get brand new shoes and wear them for 3 months, at the end of 3 months, 93% of the shoes will have fecal contamination. Does this give you any clue as to the item of the single man that you should never go near?
What? What does a shoe with duty on it have to do with this?
Think about it.
Why would you eat off of it?
Think about it.
His carpeting?
You're getting closer.
His furniture?
Yes. Keep going.
His couch?
Right in front of the couch, you have the
Coffee table?
Yes. That's it. The coffee table. Don't go anywhere near a single guy's coffee table because of the high degree of fecal contamination and all kinds of germs and mung on the shoes because single guys put their feet apparently more than others.
I do that
on the coffee table. Yeah. So lots of feet on the coffee table, and it's probably covered in.
Well, does he have a dog?
Froggy has been married forever, and he's a foot on everything, man. His feet are propped up on our counter right now.
They're up. Look at that.
Yeah.
There's fecal matter all over this.
Do you know how much duty from his 2 dogs is piled up right next to me right now?
This is Fecal 105.
This
Thanks for listening.
Hasn't been cleaned in ever.
It's the Fecal Morning Show. So, listen, single men in their apartments with their coffee tables.
Why single, though?
Well, it's just that a lot, for whatever reason, the research shows that a lot of single guys, they plop themselves down, their feet, their shoes are on the coffee table. I don't know. Like I said, it sounds like a clickbait. I'm being honest here. I said right off the bat, this is a clickbait story, but nevertheless, it's kind of an interesting discussion.
This is sexist low-key toward women, saying that men who are in relationships or cohabitating have naggy women or partners in their lives.
Yeah,
Get your feet off the table.
He tries to make the point, and you know what? My wife, Michelle, my lovely wife, she instituted this a while ago. Take your shoes off when you come into the house. You know, when you've had friends or neighbors, or you had that mom growing up that was the mom of one of your friends, and every time you went into the house, you had to kick your shoes off. And you know, she had a point. She kind of knew. Keep the crud, keep the dirt, the filth, the fecal stuff out of the house.
Dude, I had a friend in high school whose family was Filipino, and we went to the house, and the mom was like, "Shoes off."
Listen,
I had those leather boat shoes.
That's a very Asian custom.
Sure.
And you know what? Rightfully so. The Asians, they have that right. Listen, Japanese culture. Michelle, my lovely wife, she lived in Japan for 5 years. Her dad was a U.S. Marine. They were stationed at Yokosuka, Japan for 5 years. They lived off base. They were surrounded by Japanese neighbors that are still friends to this day. When we go to Japan, the girls, the 2 neighbor girls that Michelle hung out with when Michelle was like 13, 14 years old, we go see them in Japan, and they're our age now with their own kids and families. It's amazing.
Okay.
But again, you take your shoes off.
Yes. The Filipino mom taught me that years ago.
Yes.
My point was, back in the day, I had a pair of generic Sperry topsiders, you know, those men's boat shoes, and nothing makes your feet stink like those leather shoes.
I know that.
I know you know, but I'm talking to the world now, too.
I have the same problem. For a number of years, I was wearing the Timberland version of the Sperry topsiders.
Anyway.
I was wearing, you know what I'm talking about? I was wearing those Timberland leather boat shoes, and my feet, I think, were the worst smelling thing on planet Earth.
I'm in the house for 8 minutes.
With no socks.
Filipino mom comes up to me. You, shoes back on. So
I have mine on now.
And my buddy's like, I've never seen my mom tell anybody to put their shoes back on.
Gross.
Their feet must stink so bad.
I've never had a foot odor issue. No foot odor.
This is making me sick.
Unless I wore those Timberland leather boat shoes with no socks, and I don't know what it was. It was like the stench of like 30 rotting corpses in my shoes.
Remember his penny loafer with no socks face?
Who, me?
Fester?
I didn't do that.
You're thinking the leather Timberlands. You never wore penny loafers.
I think they were penny loafers.
I never wore penny loafers.
With a little penny in it.
Never.
Well,
anyway, stay away from single guy. If you're a woman, if you're Gen Z, millennial, you're dating a guy or whatever, he's single, you go to his apartment, don't touch the coffee table, according to this research, because it is a filth factory.
Imagine like how many people have done it on it.
That's a good name for something, filth factory.
Yeah, nothing I would want to go to.
Come to the filth factory.
Tuesdays,
It's a
kids
strip club.
The Filth Factory. All right, moving along here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. You're listening to 104.7 FM. Hey, folks, remember that Q105 is 104.7 FM. Don't confuse us with any other station. Q105 is 104.7 FM. Julian got a voicemail. And scam or no scam? What do you think? I want to play this voicemail. And Julian's like, hey, Dad, I want you to listen to this voicemail I just got. So listen to this. And I'm like, oh, geez, right off the bat, I knew what was going on here. Listen to this, like, acting job. Listen to, like, the scenario they're trying to create. So my son, Julian, 19 years old, he'll be 20 next month, gets this voicemail. Listen.
Hey there, it's Mike here. I got your number from my wife, Shelly. She mentioned that you had a piece of land or a house or a property that you were looking to sell, I believe it was. Babe, by the way, who would you get the number from? Oh, she's with the baby right now. She just
That was the fakest baby sound ever. And this guy's a horrible actor.
The delivery is awful.
Sounds like a War of the Roses call.
When I'm not making these calls, I play radio segments.
You're right. You're right. This is like those phony War of the Roses.
The baby's crying.
But the War of the Roses, they're all phony.
So
they're all actors. They don't use real people. They're not real stories. You know, does anyone still do War of the Roses?
I don't think anybody does.
In 2024?
I couldn't imagine.
Nobody does War of the Roses anymore.
I think that's like more of a 90s thing.
Yeah.
So, but MJ, there's these automated calls that don't really address anything but kind of fish for something. I've gotten one like a woman. Hey, I just want to check up and follow up on the call I placed earlier in the week about this or about, and I'm like, click delete.
Yeah.
Oh, she's dealing with the baby now.
Listen, I'll play it again. So they've got a little baby. Hey, Shelly, where'd you get the nut? I mean, come on. I mean, first of all, the guy's read is stilted and phony.
Terrible.
It's terrible. And then they're working in little baby sound effects. My wife can't answer me right now because she's with the baby.
Ah, darn it.
Yeah.
Is this the place where I go for the baby audition? How was that?
That was great.
How was that?
All right, let me play it again. Here we go.
Okay.
Hey there, it's Mike here. I got your number from my wife, Shelly. She mentioned that you had a piece of land or a house or a property that you were looking to sell, I believe it was. Babe, by the way, who would you get the number from? Oh, she's with the baby right now. She just gave me a look. But yeah, we're just having a newborn coming in right now.
She just gave me a look.
That was my audition.
I wanted to hear the baby, not you, you stupid idiot.
Can you rewind it a couple seconds? I thought that was my audition.
No,
Stop.
Dude.
We want to hear the bit, the clip.
That's me. I got the job.
Shut up. Let the baby play. Just stop it.
You have to listen to the whole
Hey there, it's Mike here.
Yeah, I got to play it again. We don't have the technology to rewind because some dope decided to go with wide orbit here instead of next gen. All right, hang on.
I got your number from my wife, Shelly. She mentioned that you had a piece of land or a house or a property that you were looking to sell, I believe it was. Babe, by the way, who would you get the number from? Oh, she's with the baby right now. She just gave me a look. But yeah, we're just having a newborn coming in right now. But yeah, she had mentioned that you did have a property that you were looking to sell. So we just wanted to reach out, see what it was. I'm going to be around tomorrow or the day after work and come by like around 5 or 6 p.m. Get a closer look at it. If you did have a property or a piece of land that you were looking to sell, if it's still for sale, you can make an offer.
What is this
What's
racket
happening?
going on here? Anyway, gives out the phone number. I'm going to play that. Call him up.
Do you want to, again, my name is Mike, and my direct number is 754-225-5169. Again, that is 754-225-5169. And you can leave me a message or give me a call there, and I'll get back to you soon. Thank you.
The baby's still crying in the background. What?
Call him.
So that's the latest scam racket? Now they're using baby sound effects? Hey, Shelly, what's... Oh, I'm sorry. She was with baby right now. This baby won't shut up! I can't take it anymore!
you telling me he got the baby job? Because I could do other things.
I'm a better baby than you.
Anyway, that's the latest racket. And I'm also getting those text messages. This has heated up in the last 2 weeks. I've gotten a number of the hellos and, hey, what you doing? And, of course, their phone numbers, area codes that I don't know who they are. They're phishing texts. Forget about those as well. The scams are outrageous. Hey, listen to this. Speaking of babies, this is a perfect segue. Mom did not know she was pregnant and drops kid at the Golden Corral.
Oh, right in the chocolate fountain.
Well, what I was thinking was, you name the kid Chocolate Fountain because they're looking for a Golden Corral themed, and it was a black family, so Chocolate Fountain. Hey, if it was a white kid, it could be White Chocolate Fountain, right?
Let you go alone on that joke.
What?
Yeah.
What's
I'm just saying.
That's fine.
Okay, yeah, it's great.
The Chocolate Fountain. If it's a white family that dropped the white kid, hey, it's White Chocolate Fountain. That's what I'm thinking.
I was thinking endless shrimp or something.
What else do they have there? And do they really have endless shrimp?
Well, it's a buffet and they have fried shrimp, so of course it's endless.
Yeah, they might want to give Red Lobster a call on the endless shrimp.
Dude, Red Lobster should have given them a call because Golden Corral has perfected it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place is pretty good.
The Wood Fork family, they go to the Golden Corral. 11 family members at the Golden Corral.
Wow.
They go in as 11. They leave as 12.
12, that's amazing.
Does Golden Corral lose money when some family that big comes in?
No. I mean,
Really?
Each one is paying their way.
Let's say it's
you could eat a lot.
Let's say it's $16. Not everybody. We go to I will never take my wife to a buffet because it is a complete waste of money. But I'll go to the buffet and I'll sit there for a day.
Yeah, but you make up for your wife's little kind of eating like a bird.
But in that situation, yes, I am the person that they look at and they rub their head like, oh crap, we're not going to make bonus this quarter. He's here.
Oh, here he is again.
Oh no.
Yeah. Tavia Woodfork, she runs to the bathroom. This happened back in May. She runs to the bathroom. So our whole family, all 11, they stop for the all-you-can-eat buffet at Golden Corral. This is in North Little Rock, Arkansas.
That sounds like a great place to go to a Golden Corral.
While she's there, she keeps complaining about her stomach hurting. She was 37 weeks pregnant, had no idea. How the hell?
I always think how that happens.
How does this happen? I still have a hard time grasping how a woman is pregnant and this far along. She is 3 weeks from full term. She's 37 weeks and has no idea she's pregnant. How the hell does that happen? So at the Golden Corral, she goes into active labor.
Oh. Is there a doctor in the house?
They call it cryptic pregnancy. Yeah. When somebody does not know that they're pregnant, it's called a cryptic pregnancy.
Wow.
I call it idiot, but that's
Don't
all.
they feel it sometimes? Don't they get sick?
I'm sorry, maybe.
Idiot's not right. That's not fair.
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being too callous.
I've heard of this happening over the years several dozen times. It's not like it's uncommon, but it's not, extremely rare.
She's 26 years old. She says that she did not gain any weight or feel any fetal movement.
Wow.
She had plenty of fecal movement, but not any fetal movement.
Okay, so does this happen more with larger people? Like
Yeah, I would imagine, yes.
If I'm already
like you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. If I had a baby in me right now, if I was ready to pop this afternoon, I would have no idea.
Here's the deal. She's kind of thin.
Okay.
I mean, if I were to be asked without any pictures, describe Tavia Woodfork, I would have thought that she would have been a large woman. No.
Maybe she just had stomach issues.
Yeah, just weird. I don't know how. I guess my default mechanism is that if someone doesn't know they're pregnant, that you would think that the woman is just very large.
Okay, so I made that similar joke in my head,
Yeah.
which I wasn't going to speak it out loud in front of people, but here we are. You know who gave birth recently to twins?
I don't know.
Do you remember the name Gabourey Sidibe?
Oh, Gabourey Sidibe.
Precious.
Yeah,
from
Precious.
The very large woman from
Yes,
the movie.
yep.
And she gave birth to twins. And I remember reading the headline, and I was like, how'd she even know? And then I went on to something else.
Fester.
I know, right, it's an insensitive,
Terrible.
it's an insensitive fat person comment. But
And,
she
but
used to call her
you are a large person.
right. But
Didn't she used to call her Gabrielle Cinnabon?
I might have.
I think you
Stop.
did.
I might have.
Come
but,
on, guys.
but
Please.
I think she's a great
when you
actress.
think
Yeah,
of
she
somebody
is.
who's pregnant and doesn't know that they're pregnant,
That
you
was a
think of
great
just
movie, by the
a
way.
larger person.
Yeah.
But for her to be, not larger.
So
How dare you? She's lovely.
she did a couple of interviews, one with the Today Show. I didn't know what was happening. She was crying out in pain, needing medical attention. She said, we have to go to the hospital. Couldn't move her legs. They ended up calling 911 from inside the Golden Corral. Paramedics arrived. Moments after they arrived, she gave birth to a 6-pound, 1-ounce baby boy.
Wow.
Yep.
I thought the macaroni and cheese was bad.
I thought it was just gas.
Yeah, let me grab line 5. Ann in St. Pete, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Ann.
Hi there. How are you guys?
Doing well. What's going on?
I have a story. I have a cousin. She was 29, 30, and she did not know until she was 38, 39 weeks and ended up in the hospital and delivered a baby and did not know she was pregnant the whole time.
Nobody saw any changes in her. She didn't gain any
Nope,
weight, nothing.
No, she was tall, thin, didn't know.
What the?
So she was thin as
father-
well.
Yeah, yep.
I mean, it happens.
I don't
It
understand.
happened.
Was she at the Golden Corral when she gave birth, or when she was?
No, she was, I believe, in Dubai.
That's the place to do it.
She gave birth in Dubai.
Dubai. She traveled over there for work.
Wow.
And
I
did
thought
not know
maybe she
over
was
there.
at Arby's or something. Yeah.
No.
Arby's, we have
A
the
fetus.
Oh,
That's just baby, sir.
the placenta.
That's a.
So it does happen. It is crazy, but it does happen.
Is she back from Dubai?
Yes. Her mom went over there the same day, and they came back a couple weeks later.
Okay, so I have a question.
So
Her son's a Dubai citizen.
Yeah, does that baby have dual citizenship?
I do not know
Yeah,
that.
not all countries do that.
I-
Not all countries. Like in
Yeah.
the United States, if you're born here like an anchor baby, you get U.S. citizenship. But
Yeah.
not all countries do that.
I've heard of
Yeah.
Dubanese people. What are people from Dubai called? Dubanese?
Dubai buys.
Okay, so I've heard of, maybe not Dubai, but I've heard of people from that part of the world coming to America just to have the baby and then go back.
Yes, that's called
Yeah.
an anchor baby. I
no,
just said that.
anchor baby stays here.
All right. Well, yes, there
We're
are.
going to get into nautical terms
Yeah,
and children.
So there is like birth tourism.
Right, that's what it is. Yeah,
there-
okay.
there's something called birth tourism where people will come here to give birth in America so their kid can have that is true.
I wish my parents would have done like birth tourism to Canada just so I could get away with saying a more.
birth tourism at Denny's.
Yeah. But Denny's is where I was conceived.
And
In the booth.
right
and
over there.
thanks for the call. Oh, how long ago? How long ago? I'm sorry. One last question. How long ago did that happen?
I think she's like 5 or 6 now.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
right.
So it's been a while.
Excellent. Thanks for the call. Have a great day.
You're
All right.
welcome.
I am
Yep,
looking at
bye.
the Golden Corral menu, and there's a lot of good inspiration for names. I mean, first of all, meatloaf right off the bat.
All right, wait a minute. So Fester is on the dinner buffet menu from Golden Corral. So they were looking to potentially.
Jeez.
They,
It's a buffet. Of course, it's a lot of
stuff
food.
they
I know.
have.
MJ, when was the last time you were at the Golden Corral? Do you even remember?
I cannot
My
tell you.
grandmother used to love Golden Corral.
You
so
know what?
I used to take her.
I think I was at the Golden Corral in Virginia Beach last with my wife Michelle's grandparents in Virginia Beach. Probably 15 to 18 years ago. It's probably the last time I was at Golden Corral. But they're saying that they were looking for a potential name that
honored the Golden Corral?
yeah. So
Bourbon Street Chicken.
Golden, listen to this, but there's more to the story. Golden Corral shared the news across its social media and said it's the chain's youngest fan. As surprised as our team was at the news of a baby being born at the restaurant, we're truly honored to play such a momentous role in little Tamar's life. But they were joking around about, should we have some name that's kind of Golden Corral themed? And then the restaurant was kicking that around.
You call them mashed potatoes and gravy? That's a great name for a
You
kid.
call them yeast roll.
Yeah. Oh, maybe not.
Little yeasty.
No honor compares to having Tamar carry on the Golden Corral brand name in his own name.
What?
Tamar Kylon Corral Woodfork. So
They named the kid Corral?
Corral. So
And his last name's Fork.
yeah. If it happened, guess what? If it happened at KFC, the last name could have been Spork.
What Spork?
Yeah, because KFC is famous for the
Yeah,
spork, the spoon
absolutely.
fork, the spork.
All right, so
Yeah.
when does Golden Corral pay for this kid's college?
Well-
can they do a college fund or some kind of...
Tamika says the restaurant surprised them with a box of baby essentials and a Golden Corral gift card.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I think you come out and say you're putting the kid through
Yeah,
college.
that might be at the store level. That would be a promotion. Give birth at our store.
And college.
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 Free.
You fry up that placenta.
Give birth right on the chocolate fountain. What do you get?
Do they still really do have still the chocolate fountain? I didn't see it up there.
I haven't been in a while.
So-
Desserts.
Under desserts, I didn't see it.
Fester's on the dinner buffet menu at Golden Corral.
Here's all the desserts.
Yeah.
Carrot cake, assorted cupcakes, assorted cookies, cookie chocolate chip, pumpkin
They
pie,
have
fruit
so
cobbler,
many desserts.
fudge brownie, banana pudding, bread pudding, cotton candy.
They have cotton candy?
Manager's choice of the day: cakes, pies, featured hand-dipped ice
Cakes and
creams,
pies.
soft serve ice cream, soft serve chocolate ice cream,
Yeah.
ice cream cones.
Hot fudge, strawberry topping, assorted candy toppings.
I just want a
Anyway.
cone.
I don't see the fountain. I don't know.
Is there no chocolate? There's got to be a chocolate
I
fountain
don't
there, right?
know.
Is that their thing?
What I'm asking you, MJ,
Yes.
is would you like to go on a mandate with me to the Golden Corral?
We've got to go to Beef and C this
We've
week.
got a lot of places to go.
And then also, you're
Are
talking
you guys
about...
going to start a YouTube channel where you guys just go have lunch together? Like, what is this?
You know what? It would suck so bad because our conversation was so lame at the restaurant we went to. It was like, so what's up, man? Nothing. What's up? Two guys who talk about everything all day. When we get us like without a microphone in
There's
our
nothing
face,
left to talk
the
about.
conversation's like, so what's going on? Nothing. All right.
Oh, do you know what we have today?
What?
We have Cyndi Lauper tickets to give away. We were just talking about Cyndi Lauper's farewell tour.
Oh, I love her.
And I'm a big Cyndi Lauper fan. We were just talking about her farewell tour, and it's stopping in Tampa. And I guess it's kind of fitting because we are an 80s, 90s, and more station. So we are giving away Cyndi Lauper tickets, and that'll be next hour. So
Yeah, they're not giving those tickets away on Wild.
in the 9 o'clock hour, in the 9 a.m. hour, coming up in less than an hour, the 9 o'clock hour starts in 47 minutes, 46 minutes. We will give away Cyndi Lauper tickets for the show coming up in November. November 6th, day after the election. If we're still standing after that.
Oh, we'll be standing.
All right, so we have Cyndi Lauper. I know we will.
It's the inauguration you need to worry about.
Cyndi Lauper tickets are coming up next hour here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. All right. I got so much lightning round stuff we've got to do here. First of all, the latest on Diddy. Howard University is rescinding Diddy's honorary degree, and they're giving him back his $1 million gift. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure this is going to start happening to a lot of his former accomplishments.
So the latest fallout from the Sean Diddy Combs situation is Howard University announced on Friday that the Board of Trustees is revoking his honorary degree as a result of the video of him beating Cassie in the hotel hallway.
I'm surprised it took this long.
And they're also handing back the $1 million contribution that he made. Yeah, they should have kept
Why'd
the
you hand
money.
it back?
You're
Why
right.
don't you give it to a woman's abuse thing?
Yeah, here's your money. Why don't you donate it to a charity for
For battered women.
Yeah.
Something.
Like-
Give it back to him.
Yeah.
Give him more money to fight his legal fees.
We're taking back our fake degree, and here's a boatload of cash.
So that's big news. There is an item coming out of the other side of the state, but it's happening here, folks. I don't know if it's as brazen as this, but it's happening all over the place. I'm talking about counterfeit designer merchandise. And the latest, listen to this ballsy move. This is crazy. A woman ran a store on Worth Avenue. Do you know what Worth Avenue is?
I don't shop on streets named Worth Avenue.
Right.
Because I'm probably not.
You got to have a certain net worth.
Probably.
That's why it's called Worth Avenue, because you have to have a certain net worth.
I shop on Dollar Tree Drive. I mean, no offense.
So Worth Avenue is the hoity-toity shopping street. It's like the Rodeo Drive of Palm Beach.
All right.
If that makes sense. The Rodeo Drive of Palm Beach is Worth Avenue. And that's where you're going to find all the boutiques, all the fancy high brands are there. And this is a really, really ballsy move. Over in Palm Beach, over on the other side of the state, there's a woman who's accused of selling over $1 million worth of counterfeit clothing and jewelry and purses at her store. She's just down from the real stores. Her store is just down from Chanel and Tiffany, Bottega Veneta. You know, some of these high brands. She had a small boutique on Worth Avenue called Blesk Jewelry, B-L-E-S-K. And she was selling heavily discounted items from those particular brands right down the street from the real stores. For instance, Pucci. I've never heard Pucci. I guess it sounds Italian.
That's actually how people have described my shape.
Yeah, Pucci.
Kind of Pucci.
That little extra stomach you have. It's the Pucci. It's the Pucci going on over there. So she was selling Pucci dresses, Pucci.
Maybe it's not Pucci. I mean, with the real Italian accent, it might be a little different. Little bit.
Well, the dresses would retail for $2,200.
How much for the Pucci?
She was selling them for $400. That might be a problem.
Pucci.
How much did you pay for that?
She had some Van Cleef and Arpels items.
I don't know what this stuff is.
Van Cleef and Arpels is just fancy, expensive jewelry. Very well known in, I guess, circles a little higher than Froggy. But
my circle.
Van Cleef and Van Cleef and Arpels.
Yes, Van Cleef sounds like your palate.
Some of the Van Cleef and Arpels items would retail for $20,000.
Okay,
and she was selling them for $500.
Well, what are they? Purses?
Oh no, Van Cleef is mostly jewelry.
Okay,
they're famous for.
She sounds smart.
They're famous for like you'll see on television some of the anchors or some of the Van Cleef they're famous for something. It looks like a not a cross, but it's called, what is the name of that thing? It's called
Van Cleef.
No, there's a name for it. It's the little symbols are called motifs and Alhambra.
Is it like a?
Yeah, it's right there. It looks a little bit like a cross, but it's
vintage
Alhambra.
Pendant?
Yeah, it's called Alhambra. And sometimes you'll see them in earrings, you'll see them in necklaces and multiple motifs but these things go for a fortune.
This is the dumbest looking jewelry I've ever seen.
Now,
looks like you're part of a Scottish Klansman tribe.
All right, so
look at this stupid jewelry.
All right, now
Van Cleef Arpels.
Now here's the deal.
It's like a 4-leaf clover on.
Well,
crack.
you know what? It's a little bit of a
Yeah.
But they're different colors, and it's actually very nice stuff. And
it looks great. It looks gaudy as hell.
It's well crafted.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's the deal.
Well crafted.
This woman in her store down the street from like the real boutiques for these real brands, she's selling phony Chanel items
for her,
phony Rolex, phony Van Cleef and Arpels, phony Cartier, phony Louis Vuitton, phony Gucci, phony Tiffany, phony Bottega Veneta, to name a few.
How about that bologna she was selling?
Phony bologna? Anyway, she was arrested, and she did bond out on Friday from the Palm Beach County Jail on a $50,000 bond. But how long did she think she would get away with selling phony counterfeit goods on Worth Avenue in Palm Beach, right down the street from the real actual stores? And listen, this is a problem nationwide. There are I know of individuals. I'm not friendly with them, but through other people, I know that there are individuals, here in Tampa Bay that sell phony designer purses.
Where? At a store?
No, it's kind of like the Friends Network. It's like, you want to get a phony Goyard bag. You want to get a phony Birkin.
Why not?
They
don't call them phony bags when they're selling them to you. By the way,
no. A lot of times it's it comes out of the same factory. Yeah, okay, sure. It's made in China. It's not being made. Listen, I'm sure there are some phonies coming out of Italy as well and out of France as well, but.
They call this the Pucci factory. We're going to call ours very similar, but right down the road there.
All right, so there are phonies all over the place. Listen.
It looks just like it, the Pucci.
You go to Canal.
Look at it. Get close. Put your face right into it.
Give it the sniff. The Pucci has a tartan smell.
I just dumped that.
What the purse? The purse?
I just.
Have you seen the kids with the purses?
Please stop. Just stop.
The sneaker kids have smells.
I just dumped that.
The sneakers have smells.
I just dumped that.
I'm very specific.
All right, stop. All right, guys.
All right.
Guys.
All right, Fester, that's enough.
Just calm down.
We've been stopped.
You've been stopped and censored, okay?
Stop with this Italian racist joke.
Can't believe you said that, Froggy. That's awful.
Froggy, I'm so proud of you.
Do you know who our target demographic is here?
Yes, the ones that are all laughing.
Obviously, you don't.
All laughing right now.
All right.
The people who want
MJ,
smiles.
MJ thinks that when Froggy and I get a little too off color, he's like, you're offending our target demographic. Listen.
Anyway, listen.
That's not the case.
Listen, bottom line is don't buy the phony crap, folks. And don't fall for lines. Oh, it's the same thing, but it's just from it's before it goes to the factory to get, some other button put on. Don't fall for those. It's phony crap. In some cases, you're supporting terrorist activities. Don't buy the phony stuff. And there are plenty of individuals around Tampa Bay selling the phony purses and the phony designer goods. Just don't mess with it. 8:23 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. 104.7 FM. Got a question. I am not a Starbucks customer. And sometimes, Chloe would be like, Dad, can you stop and please get me a Starbucks? I'm like, no, I'm not going to the Starbucks. I don't drink coffee. Have I had their vanilla frozen drink a couple of times over the years? Yeah. But it has been a long time. So I'm not a Starbucks customer. What caught my attention, though, is a particular story and the fact that there are plenty of people that do frequent Starbucks that are listening to the show. We have talked about, and I think we mentioned this last week, maybe the week before, about some of the wait times to get your coffee at Starbucks. Remember we brought this up?
Is that an outlier, though? Is that every place?
Well, listen, I found another story online. There are many reasons why your Starbucks coffee now takes 30 minutes to get. 1 in 12 customers now waits between 15 and 30 minutes to get their item at Starbucks.
Wow.
And apparently a lot of this is staffing, that Starbucks has cut back on staff to save money. And then the story also talks about how the drink menu is more complicated. So more complicated drinks to make, fewer employees mean a ridiculous wait. I thought we'd go to phones on this because, listen, while I'm not a Starbucks patron, we have many listeners that are. There are plenty of Starbucks. They just built a new one in South Tampa. One opened, within the last year or so on Gandy, right at Gandy in Manhattan, right next to the Dunkin' Donuts. On Gandy, Manhattan, they opened up a Starbucks. What I'd like to know, I want to go to phones on this. How long do you wait for your coffee or your other drink at Starbucks? The iced coffee or the cappuccino flappy, the crapalapaflino or whatever. How long do you wait?
Do you know how many pumps go into the crapalapafrino?
I don't know.
It's a lot of pumps.
All right. How long have you waited recently for any Starbucks item? I mean, who the hell is going to wait 30 minutes? Are you kidding me?
Last time I went, it was 30 minutes.
All right, get out of here.
It was. I had to buy coffee for a couple of my guys at a convention. And I was there for like 35 minutes. Waiting.
All right, so
I was so pissed.
why didn't you speak up sooner?
I was waiting for an opening.
You were affected by this.
Yeah, just a couple months ago.
All right,
Annoying as hell.
I want to go to phones on this. What kind of waits have you had at Starbucks? Have you had these 30-minute waits? Even a 20-minute wait, a 15-minute wait? Who has time to wait that long for a cup of coffee or some frozen latte, whatever? I don't know. I don't even know the terminology. All right.
Coffee.
I'm not a coffee drinker.
They're,
All right.
Whatever their drinks are called. With
All right.
weird sizes.
800-990-1047. I just want to do a little survey. How long have you waited at Starbucks? Or any people listening that you just walked out? Well, I guess you already paid for it, though, right? And then you got to wait?
Mm-hmm.
So they
go, here's your, we'll let you know when it's ready.
And then if you want a refund, that's an hour and 45 minutes.
That's awful.
All right, let's go to phones. How long have you waited at a Starbucks? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Can you confirm or deny that Starbucks is taking up to 30 minutes to get your order? Michelle is in St. Pete. Michelle, thanks for phoning in. You're first up on this. Hi.
Hey, MJ, I have never waited for Starbucks. I have the app. I order my order on the app. By the time I get there, it's ready. And I don't ever go through a drive-through Starbucks. If I place an order, I make sure it's not a Starbucks is where I go to pick it up. I have to go inside. Because if you're going to go through the drive-through, you're going to wait. If you order it on the app and you order it in store, you're not going to wait. I have never, ever waited over 10 minutes, ever.
I got to be honest.
If I order, by the time I get there, it's done.
Michelle, with your accent, it sounds like you ought to be waiting at Dunkin' because those are all over New England. Where are you from originally?
Oh, I am actually from the home of Dunkin's, Quincy.
Well, duh. I mean, I hear your accent. That's why I'm saying. Well, so if you're from the home, you're from the home of Dunkin' up in Massachusetts, and you're going to Starbucks.
I sure do, and I get slack from my family all the time. That I'm betraying my home. Dunkin's is not where it's at, ladies and gentlemen. It's Starbucks is where it's at.
No. See, Michelle, hang on a sec. Michelle, my Michelle will get in your face because my Michelle hates Starbucks. My Michelle says Starbucks tastes like it's all burned to a crisp. My wife, Michelle, my wife says that Dunkin' is the best coffee around. My wife is addicted to Dunkin', that it's much better than Starbucks.
And my husband says the same thing.
Well, there you go.
My husband's always telling me, go to Dunks, and I can't do Dunks. And for me, Dunks coffee is too hot. I can't drink it.
Too hot.
Too hot?
Let it cool.
Blow on it.
Michelle, thanks for the call. Let me grab Ariel. And again, we're looking for folks that have had ridiculous waits at Starbucks because the stories have been circulating that people are waiting for 30 minutes. Who the hell will wait 30 minutes for coffee at a fast food place, essentially? All right, I want to hear your experience. So Michelle said she never waits. 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. And the claim here is that 1 in 12 customers now wait between 15 and 30 minutes. Ariel, also in St. Petersburg. Hey, Ariel, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How long do you wait?
I waited 15 minutes one time, and that was the last time I did that. I really don't like Starbucks, and I happened to go there for my daughter one day, and it was a ridiculous wait time. I was like, I'm not doing this no more for 15 minutes even. So my favorite place to go to is Wawa's. I love their coffee. I love their craftsmanship there. It's very good, and it's cheap. So why not go somewhere cheaper, better coffee to me? So that's what I do. Wawa's is the place to be.
Ariel, you sound like a very savvy, intelligent shopper. So thank you. Hey, Fester, you spend a lot of time at Wawa.
Yeah, so Wawa has, of course, they have the self-service coffee stations, which is what I usually go for. But they have a whole, kiosk digital menu board of all kinds of specialty drinks, and they get them out to you quickly, and it's pretty easy. And she's right; it's more affordable than these other places.
Well, Ariel, thank you very much. I appreciate you checking in.
Thank you, Ariel.
Thank you for having me.
Ariel, do you listen to us every morning?
Every morning, I love the MJ Roxanne. You rock, Festus.
Thanks.
Everybody, you guys rock. I love it there.
Ariel, Roxanne's not here today, but she'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, man, okay. Hopefully I get on and speak to her tomorrow.
Ariel, I really appreciate you listening. Do me a favor, spread the word. Tell all your friends to listen to the MJ Morning Show.
Oh, I do all the time.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Another reason how that company that measures is broken.
Just what?
Totally broken.
Oh, yeah.
The measurement company
Totally.
was totally busted. Just
busted to shreds.
Just bad. All right. Let me grab Pablo in Newport Richey. Pablo, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hello. Yeah, I waited 40 minutes one time. The Starbucks on Anderson with AMC veterans.
Right.
And it ruined my movie. I waited too long in the drive-thru, and it was ridiculous.
40 minutes at Starbucks on Anderson Road?
Yes, the one right in front of AMC veterans.
Oh, what
ridiculous!
My God, 40 minutes.
I'm still a Starbucks fan,
But Pablo, why would you give up 40 minutes of your life for liquid in a cup?
He didn't know. He was in the drive-thru.
It's not like you're at a methadone clinic where you got to have it.
Yeah, I didn't know. I needed the caffeine for the movie, and I never get those minutes back in my life, to be honest. It was ridiculous.
But yeah, MJ, Pablo said he was in the drive-thru.
Yeah.
Once you make your order and you're in the lane, you've got no place to go.
No, you start bumper carring.
Well, there's curbs on the side. There's nowhere to go. I mean, I didn't know until after in the drive-thru.
Listen, if I were trapped in that drive-thru for 40 minutes, I'd be damaging my car to get the hell out of there. All right, Pablo, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate your call. Thanks. All right, let me grab one more on this. Steve is in St. Pete. Steve, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hi.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I've done the dreaded long Starbucks wait. Here's the deal. They cater to the app, right, because it's quick.
Yep.
And they pretend like they're so busy getting all the app orders out. When you walk in, although you're the customer, they don't even acknowledge you, right? Because they're so busy pretending that these apps are more important. And the drive-thru is very important as well. But yet you just wait, and they're not friendly, right? So I've kicked them out of my life. Just like, no way. It's not worth it. You know what? I'll go buy my own Folgers and brew it in my truck and be just as happy.
Brew it in my truck.
So you said Starbucks, get out of my life. You've divorced, you've broken up with Starbucks.
Oh, yes. And it really wasn't that hard, and there was no lawyers involved, and I didn't have to give anything away.
Look at that. Monthly checks going out. Look at that. All right. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
No, but
you got it.
MJ,
Hey.
he's right. All these places now want you to order through the app, and they probably take priority on the app orders to get more people driven to that platform.
I picked up a couple of things where I'm like, you've heard of DoorDash. I'm Dad Dash for Chloe.
Great.
Seriously, I'm Daddy Dash instead of Door, because I don't allow my kids. The family. We did not use any of the food delivery services. As I pointed out, a couple of weeks back, that Chloe wanted Chipotle. She wanted a 3 taco deal at Chipotle. It was like $9.49. With tax, it was like whatever the deal was. With tax, it was like $10.43. And the same thing, if she would have had that DoorDash to the house, the same thing was $20. So the food was double, and that's without a tip. So you add what, $3, $4, $5? You get up to $25 for something you walk into the store, and it's $10.43 out the door. So that's why I don't let the kids do any DoorDash, any Postmate. What are the other ones? DoorDash, Uber Eats, exactly. I don't allow the family to do that at all. So I picked up a couple of things for Chloe recently while she's studying for the LSAT, and she wanted a couple of McDonald's things recently. And they're hitting you up right when are you using the app today? Are you using the app? Yeah. So they're pushing the app pretty heavy. All right, moving along here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. If you follow my Instagram, you might have seen a couple of things I posted. And I would like to direct you to my Instagram. I'm Certified MJ Radio. And if you don't follow me, give me a follow right now. I think you'll like my content. If you don't like my Instagram, follow me. If you don't like it, then unfollow me. And then call me at the house and yell at me. All right? So give me a follow on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. Couple of things. The last 2 postings are 2 10-picture slideshows from the Cake Girls' 5th anniversary on Saturday up in North Tampa. In the was that once the Mission Bell Shopping Center years ago?
No, Mission Bell was at Fletcher.
Oh, that was okay. All right.
And,
so it was
and Dale Mabry.
Oh, okay. So
You're
that's
at Bears
I'm at Bears. Okay. So the Cake Girls in Bears and Ehrlich. That's called Marketplace North is where the Cake Girl is. And I went to our 5th anniversary. We just kind of mentioned it a couple times last week.
The store was packed.
Place was packed.
Yeah.
Place was. I did not stop talking and taking pictures for an hour and a half. I was going to stay an hour, and I was there an hour and a half. And I took over 100 pictures. I posted 20 of them because I put 2 postings up on my Instagram. And with Instagram, you can put 10 pictures in a slideshow. So I've got 20 pictures I posted. Bunch of great listeners came out, and those are posted up on Certified MJ Radio. The other thing I want you to see, and I'm getting a little bit of crap here, on my Instagram, take a look at 2 other things. Yesterday, Julian and I were on the way to get dim sum at China Yuan. My favorite dim sum place is China Yuan. It's on Armenia, just north of Waters, in that little shopping center up there behind the Winn-Dixie. Yes.
You went.
Hang on.
I didn't know. I've been
on.
on social media all weekend.
Hang on a minute.
I have that too.
Hang on a minute.
Oh, man.
You're missing stuff.
Okay.
So, folks, I'm directing you to my Instagram for a couple of reasons. So we're on the way to get dim sum. Did you see the car at the red light? We're waiting on West Shore, right in front of International Plaza. We're about to make a right turn on Boy Scout, right where the new Charlie's is going to be on the corner there, Charlie Steakhouse. And we're about to make the turn, and there is a car next to me. The entire rear bumper, like the plastic bumper, is ripped off and protruding like 2 feet past the right side of the car, like coming toward my car. The bumper is like shredded. It was
what's holding it on?
It might be duct tape. No, it looks like it's still attached. But if you look at the side of the car where the whole rear bumper facade is, you can see this thing has been taped with duct tape, scotch tape, masking tape. You name
some
it.
Flex Seal.
You name it. This thing looks like it's been taped for months, and it just keeps coming off. And this person is just driving down the road with this thing just flapping all over the place. I'm like, why are you driving on the road like this?
I mean, that's his car. I mean, listen, he's doing what he can, I guess. But, man, you got to call Phil Swift.
I mean, what is going on here? So you got to see this car. And is that a Toyota?
Yes, a
yeah,
Toyota.
I see. Is that
cut it off.
It's a Camry. It's like a newer Camry, and the whole bumper is like ripped. It's like peeled off, and it's like it's pointing at me. But you can see how many times they appear to have taped this. And I captioned the picture. You know, I should have shot video and made them roll down the window. And I should have like gotten video of the bumper, then pulled up a little more.
You know your bumper's hanging off.
I should have yelled at them. And I put this in the caption. In my caption, I wrote, "Just get some bleeping shears and cut that crap off, dude."
I mean, you were so distracted on the road.
I mean, seriously, he does need to cut it off. What's going to happen is that's going to fall off during
it's
driving.
It's going to cause an accident.
Yeah.
Someone's going to swerve, flip over a school bus like a minibus full of kids.
I'll put more duct tape on it.
My God. Anyway, take a look at the picture of this car. It's on my Instagram right now, Certified MJ Radio. Then, as Fester was just very excited, Fester's like, you went.
Where?
I screwed up. I thought Saturday was the first Saturday of the month. It was not.
No, it was the second
What an
Saturday.
idiot.
I know, I'm a schmuck. So Julian and I also after the Cake Girl, we went to the Sheldon Road, Hillsborough County, hazardous materials drop off, because I have a whole bunch of old paint that I'm not going to just throw in the, and I screwed it up. It's the first Saturday of every month, and I thought I forgot that this month Saturday was the first.
Yeah, Saturday was last Saturday was the first.
It already happened. So I get there and it's like, oh, what the hell? I'm like, oh no, it's the second Saturday already. Son of a. Anyway, after that, there's an Aldi on the corner up there.
Yeah. And
I said to Julian, I've never really been in an Aldi. Once I was going to Costco up in Harlem, up at 125th and the FDR up in Manhattan. And there's an Aldi right next to the Costco up there. And I poked in and it looked like an EF5 tornado went through that place. It was like a bomb went off. So I kind of poked in, but never really cruised through Aldi. And I said to Julian, after we screwed up dropping off the hazardous materials on the second Saturday, not the first Saturday, I said, hey, let's stop at Aldi. I really haven't been in there. So go to Aldi. I'll go to grab a shopping cart.
No
the
dice.
freaking things are chained up.
That's how they get their low prices. They don't have to pay people.
The shopping carts are chained up.
It's one of the ways they save on labor.
And you got to put a quarter in to get the shopping cart to release the chain. Who walks around with pocket change anymore?
Dude, there's a little.
I don't have pocket change.
You got it in your car.
Yeah, MJ, there's an Aldi quarter carrier that you could put on your keychain.
I don't have an Aldi quarter carrier.
You should get one. I have one.
Anyway, I remedied the situation very quickly.
Yeah, I see that.
I remedied the situation very fast at Aldi over on Sheldon Road. In the parking lot, I saw the motorized scooter.
Yeah, I mean,
with the shopping cart, the shopping basket up front.
They got a pretty good top speed too. I was impressed.
So go ahead and reset that and bring up the. Go ahead. No. Go ahead and
reset.
Yeah, go ahead and refresh and bring up the audio. Go ahead. Hurry up and unmute. Here we go. Aldi. I've never been at an Aldi. Well, actually, once at Harlem's Aldi, and it looked like a bomb went off that place. But this is really the first time I've ever been at Aldi, and you gotta pay for the shopping carts. All right, so I'm inside the store now. I already drove through the parking lot, through the front door. I'm in one of the aisles now. And I'm zooming around the Aldi. I did all my shopping, and I got a couple of looks because I'm riding on the cart through the Aldi, and then I would just get up and pick stuff off the shelves and then just put it in the basket, sit back down, and zzz.
All right, the bigger thing is you have some guy taping you or filming you or videotaping you behind you.
That's Julian.
I know, but that's why people were looking at you.
Dude, you are
I know who it
falling
is.
off the deep end.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Everybody knows about Aldi and the quarter and the buggy.
Dude, this thing has 10,000 views already.
How many?
See, that's the problem. You're going to try to top yourself every week now with crazy videos.
So look here. Yeah. I see in your cart you got the real maple syrup.
Oh, Julian.
What is value?
Julian was thrilled.
Yeah.
Julian found this grade A amber made in Canada maple syrup for a good price. And then underneath is a package of prosciutto.
Yeah. They have a lot of good cuts of meats in the back. Listen, I'm telling you.
So we went through. We got a couple of frozen items. We got a couple of this, couple of that. Got some chocolate bars. So did some Aldi shopping. And I'm just cruising through the whole damn thing in the motorized shopping cart because I didn't have a quarter for the actual shopping cart. And
some guy with nubs who can't shop because you're having fun.
There were people bringing the carts back. And I'm like, hey, can I grab that? No. Because you get your quarter back, right?
So I have gone to Aldi.
Nobody would give me a cart, and I don't have any coins.
So once in a while, you'll find a cart in the parking lot that somebody just leaves there because it's not worth the quarter. I have gone to Aldi, parked, and then bought the cart off the person next to me.
What?
Because, they're at their car. I'm like, hey, if I give you 15 cents, will you give it to me now?
Bargaining for the shop.
Anyway, the cart.
A couple of good things on my Instagram. Take a look. And then some people are like, MJ, that's terrible. You took that cart from somebody that would have really needed that cart. Yeah,
true.
In the 7 minutes I was in Aldi, a bus full of amputees came in that needed the motorized cart at Aldi. Give me a break. All right, so... my Instagram is Certified MJ Radio. Take a look. A lot of stuff up there right now. Certified MJ Radio. And feel free to give me a follow. Speaking of shopping carts, now I had this like multiple days last week, and I just didn't get around to it. But it's the woman that started this massive controversy online about she never returns the shopping cart to the Corral, etc.
That's not cool.
And then now she's doing TV interviews. A California mom has recently, made it big on the internet, yelling about shopping carts. She refuses to return her shopping cart.
It's a little more than just refusing to do it.
Well, she's turning it into a whole meme, and her videos have gone viral now. Now she's doing interviews on TV stations like KTLA Channel 5 out in Los Angeles. Her name is Leslie Dobson. She's a psychologist out in the Los Angeles area, and she posted a video at the end of May. She's got like 15 million views already on this thing. And she says, I'll play the audio. So here's some of the original audio, and then I'll play for you some of her interview audio. So this is the original that went viral.
I'm not returning my shopping cart, and you can judge me all you want. I'm not getting my groceries into my car, getting my children into the car, and then leaving them in the car to go return the cart. So if you're going to give me a dirty look, off.
Whoa.
So, you know what? I want to go to phones on this. We're going to go a little overtime. You're getting it much more than an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. I would love to hear from you, the shopping cart consumer, the shopping cart end user. I'd love to hear from you right now. Where are you on the shopping cart return to the shopping cart corral? I typically bring them back. I was shopping at Walmart recently. You know what it comes down to? If the corral is conveniently placed and it's not that far, if the corral is too far away, then I go bleep it,
Great.
Right, let's grab some calls on this. Where are you on the shopping cart return? Where do you stand on this mom saying that, hey, she loaded up her car, she's got her kids strapped in, she's not going to leave them in the car while she goes to return the shopping cart? Where are you, the MJ Morning Show listener, on this? Shopping cart returns. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. That's how you dial in. I'd love to get your response quickly on shopping cart etiquette and where you stand. So you heard the original. Now, here is some audio from some of the interviews that she's done. This is from Channel 5 KTLA.
I think it's such an important topic because I think moms are minimized a lot, dads too, but it is really hard to get young kids into the car. And coming from the mindset of somebody who's worked with predators for 20 years, I know how they think and I know what they look for. And that is a vulnerable moment. When you return to your car, you have already been watched for a significant amount of time. So if you are choosing social niceties over protecting your children, I just wanted to say, you don't have to.
When she puts it that way, it's a very smart, intelligent point, to be quite honest.
All I heard was her awful vocal fry.
In America, there's 1 million children abducted a year, and they are assaulted. And I mean, I'd say about 300 kids a year abducted in parking lots. And, our big grocery stores are not coming out and sharing.
She does have a little bit of a vocal
a little
fry.
bit.
Yeah.
So, kidnap my children.
I hate that. I don't want to leave my kids in the car.
All right, let's go to phones. Phones have just exploded. Pam in Bradenton. Pam on shopping carts on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Pam.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing well. What's your story with shopping carts?
Okay. I have been thinking about this for so long. This is why this is so funny. I have 2 pit bulls. I have them in my car. I put my groceries in the car. They always have these.
May I ask why you're going grocery shopping with your pit bulls?
Well, because I have to leave them in the car with the air conditioning on, and nobody's going to get in the car with them in there.
Yeah, but why are you taking the pit bull shopping in the first place? Just leave them home.
Because they're spoiled.
Yeah. You're one of those.
Yeah. If you want to spoil them, leave them at home. Don't leave them in your car
Wait a
with the
minute.
air
So
conditioner running.
you're leaving the car running in the parking lot with your...
Yes, I am.
Who's going to break into a car with two people?
Someone's going to steal the damn car.
And I've had people go to the front desk and say there's somebody that has 2 dogs in the car, and they're sweating to death. And then when I get out there, they're all like, they walk right up to me at the car. I go, the air conditioner is on.
All right, leave them home.
Yeah, listen, I would say, Pam, just leave the pit bulls home.
I mean, you might be the problem.
Just
on this
make it
one.
a whole lot easier. All right, so Pam, shopping carts, you return them or don't?
Always return them.
All right, thank you, Pam. Sheila in Largo. Sheila, MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Morning. I think the lady in LA is nutso. She needs to get shrunk herself. I don't know any people that are, what did she say? All her children will be abducted. Give me a break.
She didn't say they will be abducted, but all right. So, Sheila, you load your car up. The kids are in the car. You're going to walk all the way back to the front of the store to return the cart while the kids are unattended?
Or sometimes they have the corrals in the parking lot.
Cart corral.
Yeah.
Put them in the cart corral.
Not everyone's conveniently located.
You know what? I think you paint it with gold paint, then you call them the Golden Corrals.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
All right. Thank you, Sheila.
She was cackling over
She
here.
was. Jim is in Land O'Lakes. Jim, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, MJ.
Yeah.
I kind of get pretty mad at people that leave that stuff. I'm a car guy, and those things roll down the driveway, hit cars, scratch them, do all kinds of damage to people's cars. Well, I mean, it's been quite a few years now, but I'm one of them guys that drive the Jeeps with the big old steel, off-road bumpers on them.
Yeah, do you have 39,000 ducks on your front dash?
No, I do not.
All right, so you're a Jeep guy without the ducks, right?
Yeah, no, I'm a true off-roader.
All right.
I'm not a mall crawler.
Mall crawler.
But anyways, I had this lady one time. She had some kids in the car, and she thought she was just going to leave the cart there. And I said, ma'am, that thing's like 20 feet away. You can't put that in the corral. And she gave me a bunch of crap about it, so I decided to use that steel bumper to hit the cart and slam it right into the side of her car.
Oh, my God, what?
Take one of her windows out with it, too.
Are you? And did they come after you?
No, I just smiled at her and drove away.
Oh, my God.
You want to pull that crap with a man,
Wow.
tough guy.
Thanks, Jim. Wow, that's crazy. Lisa's in Dade City. Lisa, go ahead. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. I always return the cart to the corral, and when I had my kids in the car, I just parked next to the corral so I didn't have to leave them.
Thanks for the call. Let me grab. Hey, Andrew, no more because I'm running late as hell right now. Michael in St. Petersburg, where are you on shopping cart returns?
Hey, MJ, if the corral is close, I'll walk into the close. Most of the time in Publix, I see the kid walking out collecting the carts. I usually just toss it to him and he puts it away.
There you go. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Lindsay, quickly in Newport Richie. Lindsay, go.
Hey, I agree. You have to return your card.
Thank you, Lindsay. Appreciate it. Andrew in Hudson. Andrew, MJ Morning Show, go.
I've had my car damaged, and so I always return my cart. I encourage everyone to return their cart. And also look up on YouTube cart narcs, because there's a guy that publicly shames people that does not return their
Cart narcs on YouTube?
Look up cart narcs. Swear to God, it's amazing.
Cart narcs. Publicly shaming those that leave the shopping cart in the lot and not bringing it back to the corral. Cart narcs on YouTube.
They even put a magnetic sticker on their car when they don't do it. So it doesn't cause damage, but they have to remove the magnetic sticker.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right,
That's
one
funny.
last call on this. Tim and Sarah. Look, every line is still going, but I gotta take the break. I'm running very late. Tim in Sarasota. Hi.
Hey, how's it going? I just want to say having kids is not an excuse to not put your car back. If you can get your kids out of the car and walk over there and grab your shopping cart, then you can put the groceries away and then walk the shopping cart back with your kids in it and then take your kids back to the car. There's no reason to leave the kids in the car.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. All right, debate on shopping cart returning in this lady in her viral video. 8:55 at the MJ Morning Show. Well over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Oh, we got to get a hold of Wade at Two College Brothers. Can you? Do you have his number? Fester, do you have Wade's?
Of course I do.
All right, text Wade and see if we can get him on in the next segment. Folks, if you're making a move, you want twocollegebrothers.com. Now, we got a 9 o'clock hour coming up in just a few minutes, and we are packed. I have so much stuff to get to in the 9 o'clock hour, including Wade it's my understanding that Wade and two college brothers are picking up my Red Lobster booth and table from the closed, defunct Largo location today at 3 o'clock. So I need to get Wade on and just confirm this. Fester doesn't get his facts right all the time. But if you don't know the story, with the Red Lobster contents auction, we tipped off the winning bidders that all the contents were being auctioned for a ridiculously low price, including all the kitchen gear. And Michelle and the kids want a booth from the Red Lobster for the house. So we have one from the Red Lobster. And I guess two college brothers is going to pick it up later today. Folks, if you're moving across town, across the street, MJ Morning Show on Q105, El Toto, Africa, 9:06 at the MJ Morning Show. Yeah, running late. We went very long in the last segment with the shopping cart phone calls. The MJ Morning Show is exclusively on 104.7 FM, which is Q105. Remember, Q105 is 104.7 FM on your dial. Of course, all the digital options and streaming and everything. So, yes, Fester, I just texted Dennis Phillips again to see if he's available. You know, listen, he works, late. Now, granted, I don't think he worked Sunday night last night, but, he's generally a late sleeper because he gets to bed late because he does the 11 o'clock news. So, I don't know if he's on vacation. Maybe
he doesn't want to be bothered.
Yeah, that might be.
No. Dennis is a friend and also.
Did you say his name right?
Dennis Phillips. Please stop it.
I mean,
Froggy.
How does he spell
Holmes.
his name? How does he spell his name?
It's Denis.
Okay,
it's
that's
not,
Dennis?
It's not Denn. It's Den.
His name's Dennis.
It
Get
is
it right.
not. It is Dennis Phillips. So we're going to try to get Dennis on because Fester's all scared and confused about the rain that's coming, I guess, tomorrow.
I'm trying to help the people, man. It's going to be different weather than we've had in several months.
It's raining in Florida. Wow.
All right, hang on. Let me
There'll be a lot of rain.
let me just try to call him. Hang on a minute. Oh, jeez, Fester. 727. All right, calling Dennis Phillips. You want to pick up the line over there when it rings?
Should have Froggy pick up the line.
All right.
I'll pick up.
Fester, pick up line 1.
Hold on here.
Do you know how to pick up the phone?
Oh, I'm getting there.
All right, pick it up. See if he picks up. Fester's all scared because we're going to get like 5 inches of rain or something.
He's not going to answer.
Maybe he's on vacation. I don't know. Is he working this
Posting
week?
on Facebook an hour ago.
All right.
Oh, no. Did you piss him off?
Don't piss him off.
Oh.
He's a personal friend as well as...
Dennis Phillips from 1 hour ago on Facebook. LOL, watch me piss off MJ by not returning his text.
No, it doesn't
I can't
say
believe he did that.
It does, but he did post an hour ago. You know what? That's probably automated. Is it just going to voicemail?
It's going to voicemail.
All right.
All right.
Anyway, I texted him just a few minutes ago, so if he's available. Now, I've got to make arrangements with Wade at Two College Brothers. Is he waiting for the call?
He is.
All right.
as well.
I'll be right there, so stand by. Wade is the chief moving officer, the CMO, over at twocollegebrothers.com. So, Fester, you didn't put the phone on hold.
I don't know how to do that.
Dude, just hang it up.
I tried.
Just put the phone in the cradle.
The phone is hung up.
The phone is not.
I don't know.
Hanged up, hung up, whatever.
It's hung in.
You're stupid.
It's.
All right. I'll call Wade in a second. I mentioned Kit Kats a few minutes ago. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
You know, one of the catchiest jingles in the candy.
Yeah, it's a great jingle.
It's all right.
There are people that are slathering Kit Kats with ketchup. Oh, my God. That is nasty.
All right, I'm here for it. Tell me about it. Do they eat like little hot dogs or French fries? Is it like Kit Kat French fries?
Exactly. So people are drizzling ketchup and dipping their Kit Kats into ketchup like French fries, or smothering the entire bar. And you know what this is? This is just a stupid viral video deal. That's what this is. People are just coming up with stupid content in order to try to get hits and, you know, have their social media monetized so they can make 37 cents.
And you talk about it.
Yeah. So people, you know, as you can imagine, are pretty grossed out by this. There is no way that ketchup goes on.
Who's to say?
Kit Kat. Give me a stop. Give me a break. Give me a break. So you have people that are in their cars. Oh, my God. They're just taking like fast food ketchup packets and squeezing the ketchup onto the Kit Kats and taking a bite, or using the home, Heinz squirt bottle, with the upside down bottle, and squirting ketchup on their Kit Kats and then eating the Kit Kats with ketchup.
This woman right here who just doused it and took a bite said it tastes really nice.
This is disgust. Get out of here. She's about to throw up.
The guy I follow with no hands, 86 hands, he always gets people that send him stuff. They're like, try this chip with this kind of blue cheese, and then he'll eat it and he'll say it's very good. He gets all kinds of challenges. What are you doing?
MJ has to come around to my microphone position because
the hell?
Apparently I broke the phone over here.
What'd you do to the phone?
Had to hang up a line.
Go get a Kit Kat. I want to try it.
The phone would not, because Fester didn't have the phone in the cradle. How tough is it
You
to
didn't hang up the phone?
How tough is it to hang up the phone?
You are such a hump.
Is it still not hung up?
You're a crumb.
It says not hung up over here.
It's not on my end.
Then something's busted over here.
Oh, what a surprise. Something's broken in here.
Some piece of electronic equipment is broken here. On, what was that?
My
Something else
headphones.
broke.
I bumped my volume modulator.
All right. Well, speaking of food, it might be over here, or the phone system's broken.
It's not me over here.
Yeah. Can I even take phone calls?
I'm not very proficient at this phone system, but I do know how to hang it up.
Do you know there's a Taco Bell artwork theft problem?
Really?
Like in the store, like off the wall?
Yeah, there are like
Mexican art.
There are like these abstract, like Mexican taco-ish art.
I want to see them now. I want to go to Taco Bell and check it out.
People are stealing them and selling them for thousands of dollars.
There's just one kid who takes his own pictures and replaces them in McDonald's.
So
really,
there was
like
a guy,
picture of himself.
There was a young man,
like on a beach.
He was like, yeah, he put his picture up at a McDonald's.
And it was
like,
there for so long,
enjoying like fries or eating a burger, and they have like all these people's faces of different cultures, and he was with a friend, and it stayed up there for like a year and a half.
Here's a story. Over 20 years ago, a guy by the name of Mark Smith.
Oh, Mark.
Had some kind of deal with Taco Bell to have his Basquiat?
His art?
Am I Basquiat? Basquiat? Like paintings printed and hung in multiple locations across the country. Then,
nice.
In 2015, the reproductions of Smith's paintings started disappearing. And it would show up in underground like art auctions and sales. And
all right, so you're not walking into the corner Taco Bell and taking a piece off the wall.
No, people were, yes, that's what people were doing.
But not lately.
Yes.
Not lately.
No, so I guess it's still happening. And some of these Taco Bell paintings.
Damn, these are kind of cool looking.
Some of the paintings have been selling for as much as $10,000.
Yeah, there's a whole Reddit thread saying, does anybody know how I can get the art from inside a Taco Bell?
Well, people are stealing them.
Yeah, this guy says steal it.
Oh, yeah. So deep in the trenches of Reddit, there are threads explaining how most paintings from these remodels wind up in the trash, but every now and then they reappear on the secondhand sites like Mercari and eBay for $300 to $750. Unsurprisingly, it seems like employees are in on it. But also, people are just, in some locations that still have the paintings, people are just taking them off the wall and walking out with these paintings at Taco Bell.
What are you going to do? How are you going to stop them?
I don't know if I've ever seen these in a Taco Bell. I'm trying to think,
I haven't been in a Taco Bell in years.
Some years ago, maybe around 2015, they started coming up with those new concepts for Taco Bell. The newer stores where they're very nice, and it's not like that old Taco Bell form factor that they used to have. And I'm guessing they would decorate the walls with these nice paintings. And for whatever reason, there's been some collectability for the Taco Bell art, and people are stealing the freaking paintings.
Man, that guy's like an underground artist.
Yeah, look, Fester, go ahead and click on that NBC story. So NBC just did a story on this, and hit play.
It has like a 30-second ad.
Yeah, it's going to have an ad. So I'm waiting for the Uncrustables ad from Smuckers to finish.
Let's listen to it.
And then we'll listen in.
Did you see the guy who replaced a Wendy's with his face on the sign and everything?
The guy what?
He took Wendy down.
He took Wendy's signage down and put his face with the Wendy's wig on it.
And
it took him all day to realize.
Where the heck was this?
I don't know. You got to look it up.
What, the guy have a bucket truck?
Yeah, he had a whole thing. He did it overnight. He replaced all the signage
with his
him
face.
in a red wig.
Really? Where was this?
I got to look it up. I just
look
saw
it
it.
up. That's
You have a
hysterical.
computer in front of you.
Right.
I'm doing the Taco Bell stuff.
All right, so wait a minute. Let me roll this NBC story back. All right, here we go.
It's a 3-minute
All
piece.
All right, you got to hit, is it unmuted here?
No, I don't know.
All right, hang on, here we go.
Height of heists
All right,
that
here we go.
The Louvre, scene of the mysterious disappearance of the Mona Lisa.
They were the height of heists that rocked the art world. Way back in 1911, the Mona Lisa snatched from the halls of the Louvre.
The theft from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum was shockingly simple.
Fast forward to 1990.
Has it crossed your mind you may never see these works again?
Is this the Boston heist? The big Boston heist?
Men dressed as police officers brazenly walked out of Boston's Gardner Museum with 13 paintings,
That was a big
totaling
one.
$500 million. Today, another scandal unfolding.
Listen.
And it's hitting the art world right in the chalupa. That's right, artwork mysteriously gone missing. Not from a museum or gallery, but from, well, Taco Bell. They're now going for big bucks on the black market.
I kind of think of it as the GameStop of
art heist.
Reports of paintings disappearing from the franchises started in 2015, more than a decade after artist Mark T. Smith had been commissioned to create them.
It's kind of comical in a way. The way it was framed, it was like this great art heist, you know, and it just had like the Thomas Crown affair.
Smith is an accomplished painter, shown in galleries across the country, and has done work for campaigns like Absolute Vodka and the 2008 Olympics, work that fans wanted to collect. The Taco Bell art, though?
I wasn't expecting that with Taco Bell, frankly. It's a nice endorsement. It's not like somebody giving you a compliment at a show of your work. It's just more authentic than that way.
The pieces now selling on eBay are mere copies of Smith's original work. And yet, look at this post for $10,000.
I think in an age of social media.
Anyway, so that's an NBC report from the last couple of days on the Taco Bell art heists.
All right, Froggy, find your Wendy's replacement.
Let me show you something that's actually entertaining.
What are you doing now, Froggy?
He's going to look up the Wendy's story of somebody replacing the face of Wendy Thomas on the exterior sign. Replacing the Wendy's sign. Where?
I don't see it, Froggy. All right, I do it. I got to call Wade. Let me call Wade from Two College Brothers because speaking of food franchise locations, we have to pick up. Why is my wife calling me? Hang on a sec.
I don't know.
Michelle keeps calling my phone. Yeah, it's weird. Let me call. Give me Wade's phone number, Fester, would you please?
All right, hold on. Sorry.
941-223. We have to arrange. I guess it's going to happen today. The Red Lobster booth pickup is happening today.
This is Wade.
Wade, this is MJ. MJ Morning Show Live. How you doing, Wade?
Good, MJ. How are you doing?
How are things at twocollegebrothers.com, moving and storage?
Booming. June is our busiest month of the year.
There you go, folks. If you want to move that's done right, great quote, and more importantly, extremely courteous, well background checked, and expert movers, twocollegebrothers.com. All right, so Wade, you're a longtime sponsor on the show, and Fester tells me that you're picking up the Red Lobster booth today?
Yes, sir. We have it scheduled for 3 o'clock pickup up in Tarpon Springs today, and then our driver will be coordinating with you to bring it over to the house and just start making it look like the dining room at a Red Lobster.
All right, here's the issue. At 4 o'clock, I'm going to be at the Nona Slice House for their 5-year anniversary today.
That's okay. Is there a better time you want it delivered?
Do you mind?
No, not at all. We'll work with you.
Yeah, because the Nona Slice House later today, I think from 4 to 9, Nona Slice House up in Safety Harbor, they're having their 5-year anniversary party. And, you know, I've become friends with Jamie, the owner of Nona Slice House. He went with me to New York a couple of weeks back for the big New York pizza tour. And Michelle and I are going at 4 o'clock to Nona Slice House today to grab some pizza. It's got some free slices and stuff today, and it's
Wade. That's a deal, dude. You're gonna go to Tarpon Springs at 3. Meet MJ in Safety Harbor at 4.
I can't fit it. I can't fit it in the SUV.
I'm talking about his guys getting some free pizza.
Oh, free pizza. Meet me at Nona Slice House. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let the guys know.
Yeah.
They'd probably love that.
All right. So you're picking up the Red Lobster booth from the now defunct Largo location because the people that won the contents heard about the auction on the MJ Morning Show and the ridiculous price. That auction, when I first found out they were auctioning every bit of merchandise, tables, chairs, all the bar equipment, all of the restaurant equipment, the stoves, the fryers, the ovens, the baking racks. I mean, everything. And when I initially saw this, it was like $600 was the high bid, and eventually it went for $13,800. All the contents of Red Lobster on Ulmerton in Largo, and at $13,800 for everything. I mean, talk about a bargain! I mean, one piece of kitchen gear probably is more than that. So they got the entire restaurant, and Michelle and the kids just said, "Hey, can you ask for one of the Red Lobster booths so we can set it up in the dining room of the house?" So that's what Wade and Two College Brothers are going to do. They're going to pick up the Red Lobster booth from the winners. And the people that won, it's Johnny's Tap House, right?
Yeah, up in Tarpon.
Up in Tarpon. They won all the contents of the Red Lobster. So, and they kept the booth for us, and that's what Wade and Two College Brothers are going to pick up later today. Wade, yeah, if you can hang on to it and we can coordinate a drop-off, do you mind? Because you are Two College Brothers moving and storage.
Sure. Yeah, we'll store it for you, and whenever it's a good time to bring it over, we can do that for you.
That's fantastic. Listen, I really appreciate it. And you know what? I know this Red Lobster booth is in remarkably good hands.
You got it. Yep. You'll be eating all you can eat shrimp before no time.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, Wade, twocollegebrothers.com. Wade, I'll be in touch.
Okay, sounds good. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, my friend. All right, 9:22 at the MJ Morning Show. Let me check the phones here and see if Dennis Phillips is not texting me. It's weird. I don't know. All right. I'll try Dennis during the break because we have one more segment to go. We also have Cindy Lauper tickets to give away before the end of the show. So it's going to happen next. I'm going to give away Cindy Lauper tickets for the Girls Just Want to Have Fun farewell tour coming up in November at the Amalie Arena. And if you want to go see Cindy Lauper, got your first pair to win here in just a few minutes here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. I implore you to stand by. Veterans Ford. I was like, what the hell? This sounds mono. Why does this sound mono? All right, hold. Let me stop this. Hang on. It is because the right button is pushed on. Let me do it again, and let me open this up. All right, hang on a second. That was the rejoiner for the final segment of the show. All right, here we go. We're on the. I want some bittersweet chocolate off of aisle 8. Yeah, over at Publix. All right, final chunk of the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. This is crazy. A guy sneezes and his colon falls out.
Dude, that's a strong sneeze.
Dude, let me tell you right now. This is crazy.
That's awful.
Yeah. And this is a Florida story. I'm like, what the? This is not like some village in East Africa. You know, this. Surgeons have successfully placed part of a Florida man's colon back in his body. What are you laughing at?
Wow. Isn't that called like a blossom or something?
Surgeons have successfully placed part of a Florida man's colon back in his body after it fell out following a forceful sneeze. 63-year-old was enjoying breakfast at a diner with his wife when the incident occurred. His medical recovery is documented in a brand new article published in the American Journal of Medical Case Reports.
His colon fell out at a diner?
Diner.
I remember that episode. That's horrible.
Prior to the incident, the man battled prostate cancer, underwent abdominal surgery. He had stitches removed from his abdomen on the morning that his bowel...
that makes sense then. I thought it just blew out on its own.
Yeah, he didn't have like a perfectly healthy rear end.
Maybe it's called a rosebud. I can't remember.
I don't know, but the guys, can you imagine? You got a 3-egg omelet, you take a sneeze, and suddenly your colon pops out?
I'm finishing my omelets.
Oh, my God. That's some crazy stuff right there. I don't know what is going on, but the Daily Mail in the last day or so, and then the New York Post over the weekend, had stories about The Florida city uncovering mysterious underground tunnels. A network of underground tunnels. Eerie clues about the origin. Spark discussion. So the Daily Mail, you got the British version of the Daily Mail. You've got the U.S. version of the Daily Mail. The New York Post, obviously, is a big paper out of New York with a very big online presence. And both have stories in the last couple of days about the secret tunnels under Ybor City. I'm like, what the? We've known about this for years and years and years and years and years. There was like a new tunnel that was discovered, I think, like maybe 7-8 years ago, but it was like a little extension. But the tunnel story is not new.
All right, so MJ, we've lived here a long time.
Yes.
Are there tours of these tunnels?
You know what? Ted Webb, may Ted rest in peace. Ted Webb, what a wonderful guy. Just a longtime friend of Ted Webb. Ted was supposed to arrange years ago for us to go on one of the Ybor tunnel. There's no formal tour available. Because they're under businesses and they originate under some businesses, and
I'm sure Ted knew somebody to get you in there.
Well, he did. So Ted knew somebody, but then I can't remember the story. He had a guy that was going to give us the tour, had to go out of town on an emergency. It never got rescheduled. But I was
hotbox the tunnel.
I was supposed to go on one of the Ybor tunnel tours. But the point is, we're getting national attention in the last couple of days. Where's this Ybor City? What's this Ybor? Where's this Ybor? So for whatever reason, Tampa and Ybor City, the last couple of days, this national exposure like it's a new story, and it's not. We've known about these tunnels for decades and decades and decades.
I mean, if you're not from the area, it might be new to you.
What were they, like mafia tunnels?
Or if you haven't seen must-see TV Thursday nights on NBC, it's new to you.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's new to you.
Is it? How are they compared to my tunnels?
Some believe the tunnels were used for smuggling alcohol during Prohibition.
That's what one of the heavy beliefs is that it was a Prohibition.
Hey, Nucky, take that and take it down another tunnel.
Many bottles were found during the excavation of the tunnels.
Oh, that's awesome. I want a metal detect down there.
Yep.
But the tunnels were built prior to 1900, so they were utilized during Prohibition, but they weren't built for Prohibition.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't until later.
What were the tunnels? There are a bunch of theories, but you do have a network of tunnels under Ybor City, and don't some even go toward the port of Tampa, if I'm not mistaken? And I mean, this is not a new story, but now a bunch of people around the country, oh my God, they just discovered these tunnels in Tampa in some place called Ybor. Ybor.
Get down there and organize the booze, Johnny Fingers. It's your turn.
All right, there's nothing mysterious. We know the tunnels are there. I don't understand why this thing's popping up out of nowhere. All right, a couple of what time is it? 9:37. A couple of celebrity items. We had the story last week about J-Lo. J-Lo was house shopping, right? We also heard that the J-Lo and Ben mansion was on the market for like $60 million. But now we hear over the weekend that J-Lo was spotted wearing her wedding ring. Yeah, she was seen wearing the wedding ring.
Just get back with Mark Anthony.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jennifer Lopez spotted wearing her wedding ring after their $60 million house hit the market. J-Lo and Ben Affleck. She was dining at Giorgio Baldi in Santa Monica, California, with a friend on Saturday, and she had the huge Ben rock on her finger.
Jeez.
So what's going on? Paparazzi got the shots. They got the diamond sticking out of her long-sleeve cream-colored knit dress while she was putting her seatbelt on while leaving the restaurant. They got a nice shot of this gigantic, huge, multi-million-dollar rock. So what's happening? Is that just a screw with the paparazzi? Just to, have the ring on?
Why would you get back with your ex, J-Lo?
And speaking of J-Lo,
she just runs through him, boy.
Meghan McCain. Remember Meghan McCain was on The View for a while?
Yeah, the daughter of Senator McCain?
Yeah, daughter of the late Senator John McCain from Arizona.
She took she would have the stance opposite of all the other women. That sounds like a fun job.
She had like the conservative response on the show. So Meghan McCain is is on board the Jennifer Lopez hate train, is what the Page 6 is saying. So Meghan McCain was on some podcast last week. I don't know if it's her own podcast. Oh, I guess it is. It's her podcast with someone else named Miranda Wilkins. And she talks about how J-Lo, when she was on The View, was deeply unpleasant. That's her language.
Huh. Yeah, she must be. She can't keep a guy for more than 6 months.
But I don't have that perception of J-Lo. My perception of J-Lo, my unvarnished perception is she's nice and pleasant.
She must be awful.
MJ, that's your totally varnished perception because you don't know her.
Well, thank you for pointing that out. Yes, you're correct.
I know, it's unvarnished.
You're correct.
I know exactly who she is. No, you have no idea.
You're right. I don't know J-Lo. You're right.
It's probably Dutch ovens Ben every night.
Seriously.
But what? Dude, really?
Good night, Ben. I had the chalupas again.
You know what? You just need to leave this show and do a podcast for 9-year-olds. That's what you need.
For 9-year-olds? Who am I, Blibby?
You need to do a 9-year-old podcast.
But, dude, she must be awful. Right. She must have awful breath. She must smell. She must something. Something's off.
That the aura of J-Lo, that my perception has been that she's nice and pleasant. Yes. And then here's Jennifer Lopez's review from Meghan McCain that when she was on The View, she was not nice and deeply unpleasant. Jeez.
J-Lo.
Is she just a bitch on wheels? She's just a BOW?
She must be.
Meghan McCain met her, one time, and now she has this lifelong opinion of her? I don't know.
What a McCain in that? But
so McCain is saying that she was unpleasant when they interacted on The View. Meghan McCain said, I too share similar negative stories that the entire world does. I feel bad because we're turning a point where there's something happening to J-Lo. I too share the similar negative views. She just is a deeply unpleasant person. Wow. Meghan McCain, she is going for the jugular. Meghan McCain saying that J-Lo is, quote, a deeply unpleasant person. She had the biggest entourage I've ever seen when she was on The View, more than Kim Kardashian and the president.
Wow.
I really don't know why it was needed.
She's something else, huh?
Wow. Just a total rip job on J-Lo. But what is this in the story about sharing similar negative stories that the entire world does or knows?
I think there's been a couple of stories over the last couple of weeks of just,
I don't have any recollection of J-Lo just being ugly and nasty.
And Ben Affleck, for an actor, he seems kind of like a normal dude, kind of like a guy.
Kind of like a schmuck.
That gets annoyed really easily and has to smoke 70 cigarettes a day.
There's a picture of Ben.
There's so many pictures.
He's just outside of a building just smoking, and his whole face is just, whatever situation he's in, he's just over it, and smoke is coming out of his face.
He's got the over it face always.
I feel for the guy.
Hey, poor Ben.
He's living a king's life. Good for him.
Yeah, queen, the drunk queen.
So what's going on, though? Are they getting divorced? That she got the ring on? The ring was off. Now the ring's on. What's going on? The house is on the market. What's going on here?
Think about the children, J-Lo.
Yes.
Do they have kids?
They don't. J-Lo has children with Mark Anthony.
Yes, it's correct.
Okay, twins, right?
Hold on. J-Lo has kids?
Yes, we have the little Latino Skeletors together.
J-Lo has I believe, I'm not the world's biggest J-Lo fan.
Froggy has always called Mark Anthony the Latino Skeletor because...
Only for 25 years. Because he's so thin and he's so Latinos. Listen, I've seen him twice live, and that's a concert you will not forget. Salsa dancing in the aisles.
I like Mark Anthony.
My baby, you. He's the best.
Yeah, Emmy and Max Munoz.
Ooh.
Is the children.
We call them the little Skeletinos.
I didn't know they had kids.
Mark Anthony.
Anything else before we get out of here today?
See you mañana.
Thank you, Mark.
Oh, you know what I got to do? I got to give away the Cyndi Lauper tickets.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes, give them away.
Yeah, you know what? hang on a sec. You know what they want me to do?
Have Mark Antony sing a Cyndi Lauper song?
Time after times.
No, they want me to do. They want me to do the Cyndi Lauper Tookie Tookie Bird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It just goes like this.
Ugh. That's awesome, Sam.
That's it.
I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I thought you really were going to play the Tookie Bird.
By the way, that's in stereos. You can hear it move from left to right.
Yeah, we get it.
So if I mono it.
Okay. No more auditory lessons. Nobody cares.
All right. So, all right, look at the phones. Every phone line just lit up. All right. So whenever you hear the Cyndi Lauper Tookie Tookie Bird.
I got to ask you to please stop.
Just be the 1,005th caller.
I think you're making fun of the Tookie Bird. I don't like it.
All right, let's go. Let's go with caller number 21. If you're the 21st caller right now, you'll win the Cyndi Lauper Girls Just Want to Have Fun Farewell Tour. Now, I can hit the show close music. All right, caller 21 right now. Good luck. And enjoy Cyndi Lauper when she hits town at Amalie in November for her final tour ever. Is it sponsored by Cosentix by any chance? Just out of curiosity. They're going to give away free samples of Cosentix. Prescription, screw it. We're just throwing out Cosentix to the audience. All right. Caller 21 right now, 800-990-1047. Caller 21, 800-990-1047. And Andrew will pick up 21. Good luck. Folks, we'll see you tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. And let's be careful out there.
Download